time for the very first ever Southern...
CPR street gang, go to the abiding. Standing by, over. Go to the abiding. Standing by, over.
Right now, it's 12 o'clock, Americans. Another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines...
Clock's run out. Time's up.
Wind is blowing cold and dark. On the road and no way out. Broken house, smoking gun. On the run. On the run.
South to Mouth FM. My name is Jimmy. Welcome. Your friendly announcer. Going to be here for the next 2 hours and 30 minutes. We're going to open up the phones, and I got some of the hardest hitting people in the alternative media with me tonight. And Indie Microcosm is on the air.
Chicago, so it'd be weird being out here because some of the porn stars be coming to my show, and I'd be like, damn, that's old boy, that's old girl, and shit. Like, there's one porn star come to my show all the time. I don't know if you know this dude. It's a black dude. He go by the name of Wesley Pipes. Like, that's his porn name. Black bald head dude, got a gun tattoo right here. But he be f***ing women like crazy. But when he be f***ing, like, he be talking cash shit, but the shit he be saying be so funny, you can't even jack off right because you be too busy laughing at what he be saying and shit, you know. Like, he was doing it to this one girl. He was like, yeah, you like all that thing in there, huh? Take all that thick-ass thing in there. I know you like that thing, huh? You appreciate that thick thing in there, huh? Yeah, make that thing disappear. Oh, what you do with my thing, bitch? What my thing got? I'm at home like, who talks like this? I ain't never said no shit like that. I kind of like that shit, though. I think I'm going to start talking like that.
Open tournament. Oh, yeah.
I am here.
Excelente. Well, there is no San Diego 5-0, so, well, I'm sure there's a San Diego 5-0, but there's no theme song for it, so we're going to go ahead and just roll with the old one for the moment, if that's all right with you. Hold on a second, I'm coming in hot.
It's good.
I'm coming in hot on my iPad. Go ahead. How you doing down there, man? How's the weather? 70 degrees?
No, it's been like 93 every day till today. 90,
Yeah, but what is it right now, though? 70, right?
It's about 78, yeah.
Yeah, look at that, man. Man, whenever I want to relax, you know what I do? I go to San Diego in my mind, man. I think back to the old San Diego when there was hardly anybody there. You could have, all the canyons and everything going on there. I mean, some of those places.
Those canyons all the time. Yep.
I know, man. What about that town, Julian, man? They got wooden sidewalks up there. You can take your significant other, whatever that might be for yourself, and you can go up there and get a carriage ride out into the, darkness there and see stars like you've never seen. If you've been out someplace in the dark, I'm sure you've seen stars, but this is far enough away from the light pollution to where you can actually see the stars up in Julian. So hey, if you're ever down San Diego, to go check out Julian. It's a good spot down there. So we got some friends with us tonight. Some friends that we've known one of our friends for a super long time. I mean, he is one of the big wheels on the East Coast. He is head of the East Coast Truth Syndicate, and he is the Latin lover of truth, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of your favorites here on the network. His show rolls immediately preceding Clyde Lewis, and like I said, he is the Latin lover of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, he is hotter than a set of jumper cables at a Puerto Rican wedding. It is Mr. Billy Ray Valentine. Are you there, brother? Oh, you hate it when I give you the old Latin lover of truth bit, don't you, man? But it's been
What's going on? How you doing, JG?
I'm fantastic. It's been that long since you've been on. Since I used to.
It's been a bit, but it's literally 1:39 in the morning out here.
Yeah, man.
I have nothing to do tomorrow. Nothing important anyway.
Well, I guess I'm lucky, and the listeners are lucky too that you don't have nothing important to do tomorrow. So I'm glad you're here, man. I was getting ready to, because there's two. We have the awards tonight. So you're either soft like sock or hard like rock. And I have to say, you and our other guest that's over in the green room over there, you both hard like rock, because you showed up and you're on East Coast time, and anybody that's got the cojones to show up on time, man, in the middle of the night, I gotta take my hat off to you and say you are hard like rock, not soft like sock.
Fantastic. That's a big accomplishment. Send me the plaque. I'll put it up on my.
I will. Y'all give you the three. The highest award you could receive on Into the Microcosm is 3 flaming cocks, and that is roosters type cocks, not penises.
Thank you. I'd prefer the roosters.
Yeah, I mean 3 flaming roosters, man. Let me just say, there's nothing more virile than a rooster. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what it was, did you ever, have you ever witnessed a cockfight?
I've never witnessed anything like that, no.
No, I don't mean, porn, I mean, like.
No, I don't mean that either. I've never witnessed 2 birds fighting. I've never done it. I'm Puerto Rican, I'm from the Bronx, but I've never seen anything like that.
That's wild, because, I mean, I thought there was all this cockfighting going on in New York all the time.
I mean, I'm sure there is. I'm just a good dude. You know what I mean? I try to not get involved in things like that so I can go to jail. You know, maybe because it's illegal out here, right? But I'm sure it happens all over.
It's illegal everywhere. But I just say, like, some of the Mexicans down here, they're super into the cockfighting, man. So I mean, I'm not relating them because they're Mexican to you. I'm just saying that. I don't even know why it's the flaming cocks. That's why. Epic Journeyman, have you ever witnessed a cockfight?
I have not. However, over here in the islands, it's a pretty big pastime for some people. And so you'll have these fighting roosters that are raised in your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You're always trying to find them because they go off at all hours of the night, right? I mean, yeah. When the sugarcane fields were here in Maui, it was really big. Well, I'm in San Diego today, but on Maui, yeah, you'd hear them all the time. So you hear the rumors they're out there, you know. But
they're running wild, running free out there too, man. And you know,
yeah, but I mean the actual fighting ones, though. Cause they fight them too, obviously. And you'd hear about it the next day down at the hotel or something. But
now,
I wasn't in the in crowd, you know.
Are they fighting all natural, or do they have those blades on their? Because they're, you know, I've seen these. Yeah,
they gear them up. Yeah, sometimes too. No, these are all natural as far as I know.
Reminds me of that, you know the cockfighting? You know what it reminds me of? The Deer Hunter. You remember that movie? Did you see that movie, Billy, The Deer Hunter?
I did not.
With Robert Duvall. You've never seen The Deer Hunter?
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, dude, you have to.
Just for walking. Yeah,
you have to rent that movie.
We talked about it last night, actually.
Were you really?
Yeah, with my friends from high school. My one friend does a phenomenal Christopher Walken impersonation. So he was.
Oh my God, Billy! You've never seen The Deer Hunter? Oh man, you got to see it, bro.
I mean, I'll
it's intense. Well, it's an intense movie, man, and it just revolves around the game of Russian roulette. And what happens is these bros that go out deer hunting all the time together end up going to Vietnam, getting caught up in some shit, and Christopher Walken gets caught up in some shit, and these Vietnamese dudes start torturing they's guys, and they're making bets, and they're pulling the prisoners up out of this water. They got them caged in this water, and they got this hole in the floor, and they're pulling them up out of there, and they make them sit in these chairs, and these Vietnamese dudes are putting they just put one bullet in the chamber and spin it, and then put the gun on the table, and they go Mao, and making the guy pick it up, or whoever will pick it up, it's like, Mao! Mao! They're just smacking their faces, man, until they pick it up. And then Christopher Walken gets all into it, man, after a while, because he goes insane from it. And then he gets into it, and he becomes like the champion of Russian roulette. You know, being the champion of Russian roulette, man, it can end at any moment. You're not the champion. 4 out of 5 people think roulette's a great game. But anyways,
when I got shot.
Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to dig up our bro over there, but I think I closed his intro song, but I got to go back to it, man, because I can't have him come in all naked without his own intro song, because everybody else has one. I mean, look, that's key. You got to have the intro song if you're gonna get small, man.
Under the speaker.
You know what I mean? Let's all go to Greece. Are you ready? All right, let's do it together. Everybody go to Greece. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to Greece. We're going to North Carolina.
The air is all clear. Those who were right there got a new kind of fear. You'd fight and you were right, but they were just too strong.
He just came in from the woods. He's got his night vision on, and he's in the kill shed, ladies and gentlemen.
Face and let you smell what they consider wrong. That's why I stay in my shot.
He is one hard, pipe-hitting brother.
That's why I say midnight shine.
You better hope you don't do a 2-hour special on your ass. John Brisson. That's what I always say when I go over to, we've read the documents. I always say, hey, man, nice shot. John Brisson. Oh, yeah.
I am Jimmy.
Excellent.
Glad to be here.
Glad you're here, too. Let me shut this guy up from filter. Get the fuck out of here. All right, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
I'm glad to be here this late evening. It's late for me, too, as well, to be here with epic journeyman Billy Ray Valentine, who pays me to call him the best of the world, and Jimmy Jean from Into the Microcosm.
Nice.
Back there as always, brother.
Well, let me just say, I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are finally here. Because, you know, when you come here and it's late at night, man, this is when you do your best thinking. Like, if I lived in the city like you do, Billy,
yeah,
man, this is when I'd be getting up. Because everybody else that's when everyone's going to sleep. It's quiet. Nobody's bugging you. Nobody's coming over. Hey, Billy, you know?
I was doing a little bit of deep thinking, and I think next time John Brisson is on the show, you should play ABBA Dancing Queen for him as a rollout song. I think that's a little bit more appropriate. I think it fits his character.
So you're coming straight in here with the sledgehammer, going straight for John's Quijones right away. And I see that, but, you know, they say John has brass balls, so you may have to swing a little harder of a bigger ounce hammer against those balls. So you may need a different song. I don't know. John, why is Billy consistently busting your balls, man? I mean, are you guys like, is it like one of those things? It seems like I don't know. I see something here, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Why are you guys always?
Well, I mean, you know, Billy, he likes to talk a tough game. He likes to joke around and clown around and stuff like that and everything. But to be honest, he just thinks he's the best broadcaster in the world, and that's not necessarily true, actually, because the best broadcaster in the world is Ricky Varandas. Okay, so
dude,
he knows
I heard
that to be true. But he wants to come in here and always clown and make fun of me because he thinks he can get away with it. But it's fine. I understand. It is what it is. It's a late evening, and I'm glad to be here, brothers.
Well, look,
because you all hard,
I have heard
brothers from the street.
I have heard that Billy Ray Valentine is the next Art Bell. That's what I've been hearing.
Jeez.
Seriously, I've heard it, man. He's the next Art Bell. I don't know if it's because
he used to go out in the desert. So are you going to go out in the desert? You know, some people said I'm the new John Judge.
I used to love John Judge, man. I used to listen to him on KFPK. No, I think it was KFPK. John Judge. I used to play his tapes, man. His work on Martin Luther King was really an eye-opening piece for me when all the facts were laid out there about that. It was a little bit disturbing because it didn't quite fit the narrative that I had been told. And,
no, not at all. Not at all.
So what's on? Listen, I was gonna say something and then I got sidetracked there. But I was gonna say is you guys are I've known Billy. Billy and I have had a love-hate relationship our whole relationship, haven't we, Billy?
Well,
we're stiff.
About 85% love.
Yeah, it totally though, and we're in stiff competition though, man. Billy's a perfectionist, man, and he is gonna be, he is the next Art Bell over there, man. And so I'm just little old Jimmy over here. I'm just trying to squeak it out, I'm just trying to squeak it out, And John's over there squeaking it out, and there's Epic Journeyman. He's on vacation. And Epic, you sound spry. So I mean, you must be having a good time. Are you're enjoying being back on the mainland? Because I mean,
it's a trip actually. Yeah, I've been Farmer John out here. Farmer Epic. So I'm here on this property, which it's horses and chickens and all stuff, and dogs everywhere. And then I visit my sister, and she's got the same thing going on over there. She's got this whole thing. So it's like Green Acres, I'm waiting for Zsa Zsa Gabor, Eva Gabor, I guess it is, right? To step on in and start. I get allergic smelling hay, right? But yeah, it's been pretty cool. I got to travel quite a bit around Southern California, and it's a lot different actually. It's totally unrestricted right now. We're about to put some restrictions back in Los Angeles on Sunday, I guess. But
yeah, I want to get
that are closed.
I want to get into that after we're getting all this getting to know you session over with, because there's a lot of shit going on in America. There's something wrong in America, ladies and gentlemen. We got the right men here to talk about it tonight, and we're gonna rip into some of this shit, man, because I cannot actually believe that this stuff is just going on. And and shortly, what we're gonna see the shunning, man. You're going to see the shunning of everybody that's not willing to do it, to take it. And here's the thing. There's a lot of people out there who didn't want to take it and did. And they're pissed off. And they're not going to give you any slack, man. They're going to go, fuck you. Get a vaccine or put a mask on. I'm going to kick your ass. Or I'm going to call the cops, or my cell phone's going to go off and go, boop, 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 boop. Fucking Billy, man, you didn't get vaccinated. Where's your mask, dude? No mask? Boop, 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 boop. I mean, that's what it's going to be like. We're on the precipice of that shit right now. And
Judge Reinhold in Fast Times at High, right?
No,
facts, no shoes, no dice.
No, you're right, Jimmy. Did you guys, of course, probably saw that the Democrats and the Biden administration are trying to put forth hopefully legislation. If it's not legislation, they're going to try to force it anyway to happen. Hopefully legislation is voted against, but they're going to try to post a thing where they're going to be able to monitor your email and your SMS on your phone, and see, well, if you send a message or a video or a comment, that's considered quote unquote anti-vaccine, then you're going to get a fact check alert on your phone or your email with the true government approved message that the vax is completely 100% safe and effective, and don't you worry. Go get lined up and get your vax. So of course that is brought to us by Palantir through their Operation Tiberius Kirk, through Operation Warp Speed, brought to us by Donald John Trump and the Trump administration, because Palantir is right now analyzing every single person who's got the jab in the United States of America and the United Kingdom. And also the distribution through the supply chain of the vaccine to every American, and the medical records of the Americans who and the United Kingdom citizens who get the vaccine. All their health information before they got the vaccine.
Can you say that?
Can you say after they get the vaccine?
Can you say that a few more times? I'm on YouTube. I just want to make sure I lose my channel. No, I mean.
Hey, I'm on YouTube too, so no, I'm streaming right out too. So I'm probably gonna lose my channel.
Okay,
might as well, right?
So just go. We call it Michelle Pfeiffer. So around here, you just say Michelle Pfeiffer and everything's cool. Everybody knows what you're talking about. But here, I wanted to point out, Michelle Pfeiffer was over in England, and 40% of the people that came in contact with Michelle Pfeiffer got COVID. So that's 47%, John, that got COVID again after they saw Michelle Pfeiffer. So the thing about it is, though, is that here we are in America, land of the free, home of the slave, and the majority of people that you saw out there wearing masks, those people are probably the demographic that are also going to submit to the cure, so they don't have to take the mask, or they're gonna submit to it because they got to go to work, or whatever it is, man. Whatever your reason is, the majority of people have taken that route for the most part. There's some people that are on the fence right now. They're on the fence. They're running scared. But when people start knocking on your door, man, hey, John, yeah, how you doing? I'm the contact tracer from down the street from the Fusion Center. I'm just coming in. Yeah, we're, subsidiary of the Strong City Network. We got the Fusion Center down here, and we're operating with local law enforcement. I'm coming over here. I went to Johns Hopkins University, and I got my certificate as a contact tracer, and I was using my sniffer here, and I sniffed out your cell phone, John, and I see here that you were down at the grocery store about 20 minutes ago, weren't you? Oh yeah, well, it looks here like, John, Looks here on your facial recognition that you're Republican, huh? You voted for Trump last election, huh? Wow. Let me see here. Well, let me see here, John. I'm going to have to get your temperature, John. Okay. Wait a minute. My temperature gauge seems to be broken. John, I'm going to have to ask you to come with me down to the post office to get your vaccination.
No, Jimmy. First of all, I didn't vote for Trump in 2020. I voted for him in 2016. And second, no, thank you. I will not be joining you. But if you'd want to, you can hear about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but you possibly can. I'll sit here and preach the good news to you, brother.
That sounds good.
Time to get saved.
Well, I'm just saying, you just do a reverse Jehovah's Witness when somebody knocks on your door, man. You know, they say you knock on the door, you open it up, and you go, hey! And as soon as you open the door, you just go, hey, have you heard the good news?
That's what I plan on doing when they come door to door. I plan on sitting there and witnessing to them right then and there. That's what I plan on doing, Jimmy.
Well, hey, Billy, what do you think about it, man? Do you think, like, when all of a sudden people start getting dragged out of apartments next door, you start hearing people screaming, people are getting dragged down the hall and shit? I mean, you think anybody's going to come out of their apartments? And I mean, would somebody even come out of their apartment and help somebody just in general? You know, somebody screaming, ah! People pretty much leave their doors shut, don't they? I mean,
right. If they hear something like that, they're not going to come out. Period. 9 times out of 10. I mean, you will find the exception from time to time, but when this thing goes down, man, if it goes down in that way, it's going to be crazy. People are. Man, I played a clip on my show today of these people going door to door with this stuff. You know, it's insanity, brother. It really is. Like I never thought I'd see something like that, but they want to cut it off, you know, at the seams. They want to say, hey, you have absolutely no excuses, and it's pressure. They're putting pressure on people. People could easily say, hey, like, I mean, you don't have to open the door. You know, you don't have to take the vaccine either way. They can't force you to take it, but they're kind of forcing you to take it. It's almost like peer pressure, right? They're standing there and they're like, hey, take the vaccine, you know, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to take it. Good. Well, you can take it right now. You know, you don't have to say, well, I'll take it tomorrow, or, you know, I'm going to catch an Uber and take it the next day or some nonsense. They want to inoculate you on the spot. And they're like, well, if you're down to take this thing, here you go. This is what I have right here. We have a person that's qualified to administer the thing, and we'll take it right now at your doorstep. Please roll up your sleeve. It's nuts. It's nuts that we've gone this far. It's a complete violation of human rights, in my opinion. And it goes to show that not only the government of the United States, but the governments of the world claim ownership over people. You know, you're not free. They claim ownership over you. Look at what's going on over there, Emmanuel Macron. What he's doing? It's a vaccine passports. Everybody has to have them in order to go into a restaurant or a bar or some nonsense like that. You know, and this is the future. Right now we have these other variants that are coming up, and they're scaring the shit out of people, right? And they're trying to go get vaccinated because of it. But there's a lot of people that are bearing down and won't do it, which is encouraging, you know. And we'll have to see what develops. But when it gets real, when the shit hits the fan, like they say, right? And they start coming door to door, like, I mean, more aggressively than they are now for things. People aren't going to come out. People are going to stay in. And this is what we're dealing with now. What you're looking at now, people aren't coming out now. You think they're going to come out when it really gets down to business, when it's the real deal? No, it's not going to happen, Jimmy. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel differently. Yo, what's up, Epic? I didn't get to say what's up to you. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, dude?
But I think that's the issue. Epic, we got to have you on the fringe soon.
Yeah,
sure. But that's the problem here. Like, no, nobody's going to come out. They're going to stick, especially here in New York. People stick to themselves here. They're not going to go out and do something like that.
It's going to become like Gattaca, right? What's going to happen is the people who are have their passport, their Michelle Pfeiffer passport, and their papers, they'll go out and be like the couriers for the other people that don't, right? So it'll be the people running out and getting the groceries and getting their beer and doing all that other stuff, right? Bringing it back for them.
I'm just saying that, the social credit score, the social credit idea is going to come forward during this whole thing. But, I mean, we're already separated, enough as it is with all the racial shit that's been going on. But now it's going to come down to us and them. In other words, if you're one of them, then you're threatening our lives by you not taking the vaccine, which is like completely and utterly ridiculous. Since if you're taking the Michelle Pfeiffer, if you go with Michelle Pfeiffer, okay, you're supposed to be okay. So you go be okay with Michelle Pfeiffer, and the rest of us will be over here doing our thing. But see, now it's going to be, look, I mean, think about it I know it's the sinister shit to even talking about it, but I'm going to do it anyway, talking about this sinister shit. Because I want people to take a look at it for a second. I want you guys to all look at it and tell me what you think. Because listen, if all things are equal and everything is like everybody says it is, and this is all done on purpose, and they got a plan, and they want to kill you and your family and all that, wouldn't the best thing to do, be that all the people that didn't go with Michelle Pfeiffer, that you had built some shit that was already, if you were with Michelle Pfeiffer, you're resistant to it. But if you haven't been with Michelle Pfeiffer, and you get real sick from it, you get rid of all those people that didn't want to go with Michelle Pfeiffer because they had some disagreement about it, or they're all the same people that the government hates. The same people the government hates would all die because they didn't go with Michelle Pfeiffer. And when people start dropping like flies, everybody that did want to go with Michelle Pfeiffer will reconsider it all of a sudden, and then they'll run down there to get their shit, and guess what'll happen? There'll be long-ass lines, people waiting for their shit now. Now you're being your butt-up position, because now everybody's gonna be waiting for it, and there ain't gonna be any. And the other thing that's going on right now, John, I'll throw it to you guys, but tell me what you think about this. The other thing that's going on right now is Pfizer's trying to pass another quick fix item with using the same tactics that were used to get this shit out in the first place. And the other thing I want to bring up, John, is that what about the idea that the reason these other players all of a sudden cropped up, because there was only, they were working so hard to figure out who was going to come up with it first, and it was Pfizer. And our president went there, and he found that what the Pfizer was doing was what he wanted to be done. But there was nobody else. But then all of a sudden, all these other players start popping up. Maybe it's because they already had something set up. Maybe the thing that they already had invented, John, for some reason, it lines up with everything that's going on. John, hang on 1 second. I got a little piece here. This is a little 2-minute piece. A tribute to Donald Trump's presidency. My name's Jimmy. It's in the microcosm. I have the Infinite Fringe Master Blaster, the next Art Bell, the Latin Lover of Truth, the head of the Truth Syndicate on the East Coast. And John Brisson is in the Kill Shed, North Carolina. John, what's the moon looking like tonight? Hanging yellow up in the sky?
I don't know.
You didn't know? You didn't even look?
But in the words of Donald Trump during his first debate with Joe Biden, what, Jimmy, you don't trust Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer, brother?
Well, all I have to say is pop goes the weasel, and the weasel goes pop.
Recognize me, it's your favorite president, and I'm standing in front of the Oval Office at the White House, which is always an exciting place to be. I got back a day ago from Walter Reed Medical Center. I spent 4 days there. I think this was a blessing from God that I caught it. This was a blessing in disguise. I caught it. I heard about this drug. I said, let me take it. It was my suggestion. I said, let me take it. And it was incredible the way it worked. Incredible. And I think if I didn't catch it, we'd be looking at that like a number of other drugs. But It really did a fantastic job. I want to get for you what I got, and I'm going to make it free. You're not going to pay for it. It wasn't your fault that this happened. It was China's fault. And China's going to pay a big price what they've done to this country. China's going to pay a big price what they've done to the world. This was China's fault. And just remember that. So we're going to get you the drug. It's going to be free. We're going to get it into the hospitals as soon as you can, as soon as we can. And you'll see some amazing things happen because we have our military is doing the distribution. It's called logistics. And they deliver hundreds of thousands of troops in a matter of days. This is easy stuff for them. Our general's all ready. We're waiting for the emergency use authorization. And the drug companies have just made a lot of it. So hopefully this is going to be not just a therapeutic, it's going to be much more than a therapeutic. You're going to get better, you're going to get better fast, just like I did. So again, a blessing in disguise. Good luck.
The weasel. Let's all sing, Up Goes the Weasel.
You're fired.
My name is Jimmy. It's Aftermath FM.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? I could take you there. You could get what you want in the South. You could let down your hair. I said, do you, don't you, will you, won't you, baby, won't you please let me know? I ain't talking about Chicago. I'm talking about Mexico.
John Brisson, do you habla Espanol?
No, I mean, I took it in high school, but no, I can barely speak Spanish.
Well, you should get yourself one of those programs that teaches so this way you can... Everybody that's coming up here, we go the other direction. We go back down there. That's where you want to go. Right, Billy? Because, man, people come knocking on your door. They're going to come looking in your house. They don't even look you in the face. They just open the door and start looking around your house, man. You're going to put up with that? Because, listen, I'm going to just say this straight out, man, ladies and gentlemen. They have tried every single way that they possibly can, John and Billy, to get these conservative Christian gun owners to start shooting. They have not been successful. I mean, they have done every single thing that they can, and every single time the gun-owning Christians, conservatives, have turned the other cheek, and they said, listen, you know, we're not going to be the ones to start the battles and all this. But, I mean, if you were to, if you were to ask me, you know, there's 300 million guns in homes across this country. And if there was ever a time when somebody was going to start shooting, it's when you start coming in their house, starting to try to drag them out, trying to drag the neighbors out. What do you guys think about this? And yes, Billy, go ahead. I don't have the contact information, but go ahead.
Oh, I got you. I'm gonna add him. I'm waiting for him to hit me back.
Yeah. But what do you guys think?
Yeah,
go ahead.
You make a really good point there, right? The fact that they haven't gotten these people to take up arms, and they're pushing, right? And every time a new president comes in, like especially a new Democrat, you know, people run to go pick up the guns. Like, yeah, let's go get the guns, right? And because they're gonna take them away. Let's go get the freaking guns because they're gonna take them away, and we stockpile, and nothing ever happened, right? And at the end of the day, you know, what do they want us to do with these guns, right? Because we're not going to see, this narrative has been going around that we're going to somehow fight these people. You know, they're like, oh well, you know, a bunch of American with guns. You know, good luck. When the military's rolling down the street with directed energy weapons, good luck with your little pistol.
Well, that's the thing.
See how much.
That's the thing. I was going to say, that's the thing, Billy, is most of these gun owners, most people that own guns, they're not the kind of people that march around in camo on the weekends and shit and want to...
No, I get it.
You know, so these are
I think what they want to do with us, Jimmy, is maybe use those guns against each other.
Well, maybe they'll tell you
that's what they're trying to get at.
Well,
Because who's coming door to door? It's us. At the end of the day,
maybe they'll say, if you want, we're having a shortage on vaccines, and people are dropping dead in the streets. And if you want, we're gonna take. We'll tell you what, man. If you bring down that 38 that you got stashed under the pillow, Grandma, we're gonna give you a vaccine. Come on now. Michelle Pfeiffer will hang out with you for a bit here. You know what I mean? Listen, man. This is. Listen, I couldn't say this enough. I mean, in the movie The Stand, there's a lady that's broadcasting. She's like a truth teller on the air or whatever, and she's broadcasting. There's this moment where these dudes in black just come in and kick the door in and drag her ass out of the building, off the air. And that's almost where we are, because listen, man, look at the forces that are lining up against us. They have these red flag report warnings that go out over social media. People have been convicted and thrown in jail over that shit. Nobody did anything about it. Now it's a case precedent, so that means they can do it. Now they can actually scan your fucking brain with your phone and tell you exactly what's... Listen, MIT developed an app for cell phones for returning veterans coming back from war, because they want to make sure that they had a good mental health experience when they came back from that war. So they had these criteria, these 3 different criteria that they work off of: how much you interact with others, how much you go on Facebook, how much you go outside, all these things. And those things can determine specifically what temperature you are. They can take your psychological temperature just by these few things. So I'm just saying, if I lay that over your shit and it's invisible to you, but I can see it, I know exactly where you are mentally at any given moment. Every single American. They know exactly where everybody's at. They know people are ready to blow right now. People are ready to blow. Listen, man, people are going crazy. I played a video the other day of this lady in fucking Victoria's Secret screaming like a 5-year-old on the floor, rolling around because one of the clerks was taking video of her because she was acting crazy. The lady was saying someone was trying to attack her, and she was screaming. I mean, people have lost their minds, you guys. At the point where people can come up to your door and look in and call you out and say, "Hey, man, I got a picture of you. Come outside." I mean, what are we doing? Because guess what? You know what it is? The majority of everybody that took that shit already, they don't care about your problems. They don't give a shit about your freedoms. They don't care about any of that. Because they had to do something they didn't want to do. So why aren't you doing it? So they're not going to feel sorry for you. No one's going to feel sorry for anybody. And then you're going to be standing there 1 minute and trying to go, what am I going to do? Should I do it or should I not? John, Billy, what are you guys gonna do, man? If the knock comes on the door and says, "Hey," has anyone even thought about it? What they're gonna do? I mean, I've thought about what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look like a dope fiend on the 1st or the 15th and disappear like a ghost. John Brisson.
Well, I would tell you this. I mean, what options do I have, right? So I can either be, I plan to preach the good news to them. They drag me out, then so be it. If I'm sent to a FEMA camp, which Alex Jones now claims that they're back when he said that they were liberal propaganda and they didn't exist, and now they do. Billy and I covered that last night on In the Infinite Fringe Live.
I know, I heard it was a good show.
FM. But I mean, what am I doing? I mean, I'm not gonna shoot him. Where's that gonna get me?
Do you think if Alex Jones went marching into a FEMA camp with his bullhorn, going, "The answer to 1984 is 1776," and he goes marching into the FEMA camp and lead everybody on in there? And then they go, FEMA camps,
shut the gate behind him.
Yeah, FEMA camps are good now, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I thought about it. I was doing research last night on the treadmill, and I was staring up at CNN, and I called my wife to get a document cam on it, and when we really drilled down into it, ladies and gentlemen, I decided that, you know what we should do is do like a 180 on them and go into the FEMA camps and embrace it. Embrace the re-education camps, Billy. Embrace it. And give me those, can you hand me those diamond gussets? Or, you know, because if you want to relax, you got to have the diamond gussets, Billy. You know, what happened? He disappeared.
Jimmy, I'm wearing diamond gusset jeans right now.
Are you really?
Yes, I got a gift card from my father-in-law for Christmas because I asked for them. I'm wearing diamond gussets right now. They got the reinforced crotch, brother.
Well, let me ask you, are you leaning back like you're sitting on the couch right now? Oh, wait a minute, you might be sitting on the couch right now, for all I know. But
well, I'm not in the couch.
Is there a couch in the kill shed?
No, but there is a recliner.
All right, well,
computer chair.
There you go. A recliner, a couch, you know, tomato. There's 666 people listening right now on Aftermath FM. No, I'm just kidding. There was a moment ago, though. But Billy and John,
what's up, buddy?
What do you guys? Well, I'm seriously now. I'm serious about this because listen, I mean, this could happen as quick as tomorrow. They trained thousands of contact tracers. They installed cell phone software on your phone. If you have an Android or Apple, it happened in the middle of the night. You can't turn it off. It knows where you go. It knows where you've been. You go to the store. If you stood next to somebody with something, they know, and then they can just come over. And then what are you gonna do? So, you added someone to the conversation, Billy, and introduced that person, and then tell me what are you gonna do? I mean, I'm curious if anybody actually has an idea, or has anybody looked into the legal aspect of what you can say, or you know, is this a violation of my HIPAA rights? I mean, they went through all these changes. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. It's a complete violation of it. But you know, I to be honest with you, if they come knocking on here, I'm not opening the door. Or maybe I'll open the door and have an argument with them for kicks if I'm bored.
What if they say? What if they go like this? What if they go? We know you're in there because my device can detect you're in there, Billy. Right. I have a ultra wideband scanning device on my cell phone, and I can see through this wall, and I see you in there. Now I'm going to give you 5 minutes to open this door, and if you don't, I'm going to call the extraction team. The extraction team are the biggest, baddest MFers in a jail. When a dude has a problem and he won't come out of his cell, they call the extraction team. These dudes will beat the shit out of you. Okay, if you call the and all it takes is just like the mob when they break a leg. All it takes is one apartment in the building to hide behind the door and say they won't come out and try to pretend like they're not there, and they call the extraction team. And when they come in, beat the door down, dragging guys out. You know, you're hearing the whole thing going outside. Everyone's gonna open that fucking door next time.
Yeah, man. No, I see if it's something like that, then it's a problem, right? And so you have to open the door at that point. Otherwise, they're gonna come get you. So what does it matter, right? If you don't open the door, they're just gonna knock it down and come get you. So at that point, you open the door and hope for the best, right? If your family is home, you cooperate, right? If you don't have a family, you by yourself, and you want to be a badass, go right ahead. Let's see how well that works out, right? But you know, if your family's home and you want things to go smoothly, you cooperate at that point. What are you gonna do? When you get into a shootout, you're gonna die. You know, you're gonna make a stand and get into a shootout. You're probably gonna die. Listen, let me introduce David, man. Mr. David Barsky is joining us, ladies and gents, from Weaving Spiders. Welcome. Say what's up to the people, brother. You're in here. We're getting small with Jimmy Jean into the microcosm, ladies and gents. Say what's up, man.
And you know this. Can y'all hear me okay? Everything good?
Sound great.
All right?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Fantastic. It's a pleasure. Pleasure, Jimmy Jean. I've been listening to you for a long time, brother.
Sweet.
It's good to be in the microcosm.
Hey, well, welcome, and it's good to have you. It's time to get small. I mean, we're getting a little small on this issue, man, just because, you know, aside from cognitive liberty, I don't even think we're going to get a chance to even get to that discussion, because this shit is literally beyond anything I've ever seen, and there's no steam valve. You know, typically when this kind of an idea comes along and there's a bunch of people pissed off, there's some steam valve, like the Tea Party, for example, or
sure.
A place where people's energy can be diverted away from any kind of thing happening. But like we've been saying for a couple of nights on the show, maybe for a week or so, there seems to be this whole relinquishing of any kind of worry that shit's going to get out of control. It's almost like they've taken the gloves off. Go ahead, you guys destroy each other. We're going to go, everybody's filling their pockets with silver as they're, boning off the ship while everybody's fighting about this, and the ship is sinking.
For sure.
Go ahead. What do you got to say? What do you think about this idea of people knocking on your door, wanting to know what's going on inside there?
It's borderline absurd. When I first heard it, it was like, is this like a joke? I mean, this is like a Onion headline, sort of thing. Like, I honestly thought it was kind of like tongue-in-cheek joke, like, yeah, we're gonna come door to door. I still can't really, put it into perspective. Let's be realistic here. How would they even go about implementing something of this nature? If we want to really go here, where do you start, right?
With dogs. I just leaked an article about that. Yeah, they're training all these dogs to detect coronavirus.
Right. I just read that to sniff out coronavirus.
Yeah.
And not only that, sorry to interrupt. I'll throw it right back to you. But they have those mechanical dogs too from
the Boston Dynamics.
Right, Boston Dynamics. They have those things, man.
Let me just say also, one of the biggest places to invest money and one of the biggest things that's going on in the world right now is sensors, sniffers, DNA sniffing, temperature sensing, all these things, facial recognition, all this type of thing is all done with sensors, and sniffing dogs is a part of that, and the sniffing robotic dogs are a part of that too. I'm glad you brought that up. Listen, I got to check the perimeter, so I'm going to toss the keys over to you guys, and you guys have a good time here. I'm going to step outside for about 10 minutes. I'll be back. This is Into the Microcosm. This is Aftermath FM. We're sitting here with the Infinite Fringe, Billy Ray Valentine. And, Billy, you're on every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, right before Clyde Lewis. Haterazzi right before you. Mm-hmm. Leo Zagami before Haterazzi, David Knight, Christine T. Harris, all day. Dude, it's all day long. Every single one of these shows, ladies and gentlemen, is fantastic. And if you don't hang out, you come mainly for Clyde, and you're a member, I highly recommend you check out these other shows. They're all really, really great. There's a lot. There's like, what else is on there? On the weekend, it's a WTF is wrong with people. And I had somebody telling me earlier today that they were listening over the weekend and they were laughing their ass off about it. And the guys that are on there are super talented. So, man, if you haven't checked it out on the weekends, go ahead. $79 a year right now to become a member. You can go behind the paywall, the paywall of freedom, because the only way you can have freedom anymore is to have a paywall. Because I'll hear in the cold, cruel world, there's censorship that goes on if you say the wrong shit. People don't like it. So we got to go behind the paywall with a lot of this material. You'll find Clyde Lewis back there. He does a Zoom thing. Gets with everybody. You have all the different hosts. You can go back there. There's like-minded people. There's all kinds of research material and movies. There's Tracy Twyman's back there. Bill Cooper's back there. Mae Brussels is back there. And everybody else that I just mentioned. Opposing Perspectives is back there. The list goes on. And, we're just the new kids on the block, and we've been around for 1 year. $79 for the year right now. Super special. And there it is. That's what's happening. So
can't beat it, man. You can't beat it for that. I'm a proud pan member of Aftermath.
Kick ass.
For a minute now.
Badass.
That's just how it is, man.
There it is, and you're helping support, man. Keeping Clyde rolling, keep everybody rolling is where it's at, and that's how we do. And because of everybody, we're supported by the listeners 100% right now, and there it is, man. So we enjoy being here every night, and we are super stoked on Billy's show. And John, I think John maybe coming on board too. And are you coming on board? What's going on? Is everybody on here?
I hope so anyway.
Yeah.
Jimmy. Hope so that will be happening soon. So,
well, I mean, you got a lot to offer people besides your intense research on whatever subject it is and your background information and all. I mean, you do read the documents, but there's a whole other thing you do, and I want to make sure we mention it right now since I'm, pretty much doing the plug situation right now. So, tell everybody about Fix Your Gut and what it is that you do, where they can find it, where they can find you, and because you do a lot of work for people, helping people out on your website. There's lots of information. They can go there, and it doesn't cost anything. And you are available for consultations, and there's lots of people that I know, and including myself, who've helped with great ideas and with anything going on with guts, or there's so many, anything to do with the gut. You come to John Brisson because the gut is almost like a second brain, isn't it, John? And the gut is a really important part of every healthy human being, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, Jimmy. Thank you. I'm a naturopathic author and health coach. I've been doing it for more than a decade now. I've written the Amazon bestseller Fix Your Gut. I coach people on gut health. I got over 200 free articles on my blog. You can go over there and look to help improve your health. And I got in this because I was sick myself. I've lost family members to illness. I know what it is to be put through the ringer by the medical industrial complex, and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. So.
Yeah, so there you go, fixyourgut.com, right, John? And that's where you can find them. And
yes.
Weaving Spiders, tell everybody where they can find you. And Billy, do you have some other places people can find your stuff? And then we're going to get back into this here. We're down at the bottom of the hour, so go ahead and finish up Weaving Spiders. Tell everybody where they can find you. Is there a place
Yeah, man, we're over on the YouTubes right now. Weaving Spiders Welcome. It's myself and Jim Maiden. Y'all may know Jim from RX Only Picture Show with Tracy Twyman, and SB Elger back then. It's Jim, myself, and a rotating cast of amazing co-hosts, co-creators. It's sort of like a band. I look at it that way because I come from rock and roll. So it's a beautiful thing. We all kind of play a different instrument, if you will, bring different aspects to the table. It's a beautiful, fun time. Billy, John, this is fam right here, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just bring them in, have good conversations a couple times a week. We keep it light, we keep it open, but at the same time, it's more like, more laid back, kind of come in and vent, but at the same time, I bring in different researchers, content creators, artists, musicians, what have you, just to kind of take a pulse of what's up, what's the burning, because it's a daily thing. I mean, there's something on the table every single day that we need to be addressing, whether that be from parapolitical stuff to the synchromistic aspect to the esoteric to all the fun stuff that that is so beautifully brought to the table here with Aftermath. We basically cover the whole spectrum, and it's lovely, and we're having a blast doing it. We've been at it for about a year now, and yeah, it's great. Weaving Spiders Welcome. Obviously, it's a take on the Bohemian Club.
Yeah.
Get 'em.
Billy's coming up here to Northern California. So he was saying he wants to go to the Bohemian Grove, and I can show you where that is, Billy.
Let's go. Let's do it. I want to take some footage. I want to knock on the door, be like, hey, what are you guys doing in there?
Well,
what's going on?
If you show up at the back door, you make sure you look like Alex Jones when he was 26 years old, without a shirt, no shirt. You got to show up, no shirt, just a bow tie, and some really tight pants, and make sure you oil up the muscles.
Right.
You got to show up.
My non-existent muscles, but regardless of that, yeah, man, I'm gonna get over there. I want to take a look and see what's going on. Knock on the door, be like, hey, what's up back there? What are you guys planning? Put me on.
Well,
and then I'll come back and report right here on Aftermath.fm every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right before Clyde Lewis, ladies and gents. Check it out, man. If you haven't, please do.
That's a great.
Have fun for about an hour. It's a fun show, and And I enjoy having all you guys in the chat, and I enjoy having everybody listening. So thank you very much. David Barsky, what's good? I'm glad you can join us. You can join us tonight. Weaving Spiders, welcome. I dig. I'm over there as much as possible trying to listen. And we know John Brisson,
of course,
pretty much an epic journeyman. So
well, it looks like Ice-T popped in real quick. He's got a word. Let's take a listen. It's Aftermath FM.
The more of you I expect, the more of me I see reflect. The more I try to read your lips, the more lips you wear ripped. But when I seek out your voice, my ears will come with noise. You show and tell with the greatest ease, raving impossibilities. Engage and climb my grasp, my flow, and raise my mind. Force mental overload, and real
Add him, Billy, please. He's got an open chair. There's a chair here with his name right on it. My name is Jimmy. It's Aftermath FM. It's Neon Nights, the round table in the microphone.
There's nothing to say. I was almost honest. Living alone. Can't stand this place. It's 4 in the morning, and I still see your face.
We've been joined by the illustrious Mr. Gates, the haterazzi himself, and I'm there, Mr. Gates.
I am here.
Excellent. Hold on. Megadeth wouldn't go away. Oh, there you go. So there you are. You're here. Excellent. Well, wow. Now we really got a round table. The dream team is in the house.
Right on.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna toss it over to you guys. I heard a noise, and I gotta go check the perimeter, if you know what I mean. I'll be right back. So there you go. Somebody, Billy, I'm gonna let you be the captain of the Epic Journeyman's on vacation, so I'm gonna toss you the captain's hat because you are the next Art Bell, like I've been hearing. So I want to give the next Art Bell the captain's hat at the end of the microcosm. You have to have a really super. Well, wait a minute. Your head swells once you get small and you come through the door. With all this information, your head swells and you can't get back out, and you're stuck until tomorrow. So I'm going to give you the magic hat, Billy, that allows you to get out. Here it is. You are now the captain of the Into the Microcosm ship.
what an honor.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
You're
sir.
welcome.
Take care of your business. It
I
is
will.
Into the Microcosm, right here on Aftermath.fm. And the dude right now just joined us, Mr. Gates. What is going on, sir? Say what's up to these people. What's going on?
What's up, Microcosm? How are you? Let's get small.
Getting little, we're getting small. Listen, man, so we were talking about, I want you to meet David Barsky from Weaving Spiders. Welcome. He's on the line as well.
David Barsky, how are you, brother?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Gates.
Right on.
Appreciate your work very much, my man.
Oh, thank you.
And of course, Brisson is on the line. You already know him. He's here.
Yes.
And of course,
Brisson,
the Epic Journey.
how are you, brother?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Mr. Gates. Glad to be here at the Neon Nights of the Round Table. I guess what we're calling ourselves.
Right on.
So
Right
what are you
on.
thinking about this whole vaccination thing that Jimmy was bringing up? Right, we haven't gotten your opinion on it. So, they're going door to door now. Right?
Yeah.
And when will it get more extreme? When will they get more overbearing, more forceful? because the hesitancy is growing, right? Like they want to get people vaccinated, but not only is hesitancy growing, but resistance is starting to grow as well. Like, so it's starting to get a little bit scary. The recipe for disaster is on the wall. All they got to do is throw it in the pot, and they're attempting to do this. Give us your thoughts.
Well, I mean, I talked about this earlier on my show. This very thing. If the government, if you're listening, and I know you are, don't waste your time knocking on my door. Because first of all, I'm not going to answer it, and second of all, you might as well just be trick-or-treating in July. I have nothing for you. I have absolutely no intention on doing this. And, I think it should be a pro-choice thing. And that's just it. If everybody else is vaccinated, what's the point?
Right.
Why are you worried about me? They're going way too hard with trying to push this, and it makes no sense. They've never went this hard. I mean, maybe they did with the polio vaccine. I don't know. But there's something fishy about it, man. And I don't like this. The first move they made before they rolled it out was they made sure they had complete immunity from lawsuits. And that's not good.
Well, what if they make
size fits all for every single person on the planet?
What if they make avoidance a crime of some kind? So even so you say I've taken, so let's say they knock on somebody's door and they say, hey, we're just checking, make sure everybody's got, been down, got their vaccine, and you go, oh yeah, I got mine, and they go, okay, well, yeah, cool, man, no problem. Hey, listen, do me a favor though, you got yours, can you open the door? And you go, no, I don't really want to open the door. And they said, well, listen, man, you better open the door because we need to verify that, as long as you've got your, you said you got it, so as long as you got it, it's all good. So the thing is like in the moment where it comes possible for you to have lied, because let me just tell you, man, for spending all the years I spent in construction, nobody in construction ever asks a fucking question that they don't already know the answer to. Okay, so when these motherfuckers are coming to your house and everyone thinks they're going to get smart, they don't realize, everybody talked about the luciferase and all this. People don't realize that there just may be a little something there for scanners to scan and beepers to beep. And when you lie and you get caught, that is going to, you're talking about a crime that they're going to say is as bad as murder because you lied. And you put all of those grandmas in danger, and you fucking lied, and you're going to the FEMA camp. Alex Jones is down there. He says it's not that bad, so don't worry. Go ahead, you guys. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go check the perimeter.
I think this dog thing is the way they're gonna do it. I mean, dude, they're not gonna take the dog to your door, and then mostly it'll be Labradors and stuff. I was just reading about these dogs, but you go out to the grocery store, you go to the concert, you go to the nightclub, you go wherever. It's pretty innocuous. This old Labrador Retriever or whatever. He's a good old boy, And the doorman says, no, you're going to have to step over here, sir. You're not going to be allowed in. And that's how they're going to do it. It's going to be when you go someplace, right? Because you're supposed, they won't ask you. You can't violate your HIPAA rights, but the dog can.
Right. I think what they're really going to work hardest on is just creating a civil war like atmosphere between the vaccinated and unvaccinated. They'll probably make everyone suffer until because these people didn't get vaccinated, the rest of you guys have to suffer too, and that's going to start it's almost like a civil unrest. We're going to start seeing a lot of videos, which we're already seeing, of vaccinated versus unvaccinated. And then they'll pass it on to private businesses who will say, well, we can't service you unless you show proof of vaccination and stuff like that. And that way they can say, well, it's not us, it's private businesses that are doing it. But of course they're going to create incentives and punishments for these businesses so that they will play along as well. That's how they're going to get it. They're going to make our world so small that it's going to be next to impossible to do anything without it before they go to something draconian and just so overt that it's You know, basically what I'm saying, I don't think it's going to be like that video we just saw that came out of Argentina where they chased the guy on the roof. Did you guys see that video? They pinned him. See that one. Dude, they pinned him down and forced him to get the vaccination. I don't think they'll go that far here because Americans in general, they wouldn't like that. You know, so I think they're working on the social engineering plan right now to get us all to fight with each other, and then they're going to hit private business, which will enforce this, and they will incentivize and punish these businesses to get them to enforce it. And again, they'll just make our world small. So get ready for it.
Is Jerry around or did he take off?
He went to go check the perimeter. Yeah, so he'll be back in a minute. I think, I mean, the dog thing is a loophole that I think they'll exploit. Like if you use something mechanical, well, that's something you can take to the courts and maybe say, well, using this device, you know, I don't think it's violating my constitutional rights. But if the dog just happens to sniff you and pull you out of a crowd, you know, I don't know. You know, because it works with all the drug dogs, right? And they've done it for years.
Well, the thing is, look, we did a show. We did a shitload of work on this COVID thing when it was happening. It was before we were on Aftermath, but we did a couple of things. One of the things was that we broke it on Billy's show, Infinite Fringe, and we went on to John, and John, you remember this, and we went on Kev Baker, and then we just left it alone and didn't do anything else on it. And that was this bracelet idea. And now, John, when I found that, there was nothing, and I found it. They put out a marketing page that they were showing to special customers, but it wasn't a page that was available to the public at the time because we were in the middle of what we were going through. So I had found this thing, this bracelet, and it was specifically talking about COVID. It was saying, you know, you could have all your information here and just wear your little bracelet. And John, do you remember that? Do you remember how it disappeared?
Yeah, and they moved it into a global health initiative that was called ID 2020.
And you remember when I found that and you went back to go find it in the Wayback Machine, it was gone, but you had taken a screen.
Yeah, it was completely scrubbed, yeah.
And you had taken
404 error. Yep.
And you had been 404, and you had taken a screenshot of it. Well, listen.
That's true, yeah.
Listen, I think you know, the bracelet idea could catch fire in America because it could be the thing that lets you be on the velvet rope, man. It's like, you ain't got the bracelet, man. You know, and it's like all it's gonna take is just these characters to be paraded across the screen, like all of Rahm Emanuel's brother, Ari Emanuel's people that he manages, the biggest stars in the world, the biggest pop culture icons, come marching across, and you can pick the band that matches your tattoo if you want. And, you know, are you guys ready to step up for the badge? Step up for the badge of courage. You did the deed. You guys ready? Go ahead, man.
It's so gross too to see like Foo Fighters coming out, like Dave Grohl with that nonsense. I don't know if y'all saw that, but he's coming out talking about, oh yeah, I didn't read the whole article because I was just so disgusted. Just talking about like, yeah, Foo Fighters shows, apparently you're gonna have to have vaccination to get into those shows. Like, give me a break, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, of all the people too, I would think.
I'm gonna pull up the article. I'm gonna pull this article up. This is gonna blow you guys away. Gene Simmons says, "Fuck you! Don't come to my concerts if you haven't been vaccinated."
Wow.
I'm gonna go. Dude, Gene Simmons, I'm going to go get the article right now. And let me just say, man.
Do it up.
Go ahead.
This is gross, man. It's gross. Because, I mean, like, I feel dirty even, like, because I'm a big, like, Queens of the Stone Age, like, nerd, you know? I've seen him probably 10 times at least. And to, like, that just makes me feel dirty that he even drummed for that. Like, he played drums on a bunch of records with them, you know? Like, it's foul.
Well, listen, the badge, the wristband. It's not under the skin, you know. Hey man, go look at Amazon One, just adopted for Whole Foods Market. They're doing scanning, they're doing palm scans for your groceries. So they're already ready to roll this shit out, man. I mean, this is ready to go. People are gonna look at getting somebody to jam a chip under their skin, okay? It's not gonna happen. Most people, it's not gonna happen. But getting them to snap on this cool little bracelet, just like the Lance Armstrong bracelet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Hey, look it out, check it out. I'm cancer strong or whatever.
Yeah, live strong.
You know what I mean? But you guys, Mr. Gates, Billy Ray Valentine, John Brisson, Epic Journeyman, the brains on this table are two. I mean, the IQ power. We could solve some problems here tonight. Let's solve some problems, man. I'm asking. Listen, is that the worst or the best of the worst world is to take the bracelet? You guys want to wear a bracelet? Will you guys wear it? Tell me what you think about this shit, man. Because I'm telling.
Good. I'm not wearing nothing. They ain't putting nothing on me. So I'll go live out in the woods if that's the case. I'll go fully out in the woods. They ain't putting nothing on me.
Okay, well, why not?
I mean, granted, you could. I guess your argument could be, well, John, they track everything you do with that little phone that you willingly carry around.
If it lets you go,
that's true.
If the bracelet lets you go down to the grocery store or visit your relatives or go to your grandma's house or go roller skating or go to the concert or all this shit, if this all you have to do is just snap that little bracelet on. Just snap it on.
Is it gonna be on your right arm?
It's gonna
Jimmy,
be.
Is that what it's gonna be?
Could
You
be.
need to buy and sell, Jimmy.
You might. It could be, but listen.
If that's the case, then I'm just gonna starve out in the woods. Then
well,
that's
you
what's
could,
gonna happen.
Well, look at you could starve out in the woods, but the problem with that is you emanate heat. And with the heat-seeking night vision drones that'll be flying around out in the woods, they just swoop.
Predator?
Yeah, they just swoop in on you, blow some pepper spray in your face.
Well, I guess it is what it is. I'm going to heaven to see the Lord. I mean, at that point, what can I say?
What can you say, man?
I'm gonna give up his coordinates and make sure he gets them.
All right, so listen, seriously. No, seriously now, listen. I mean, John, you know, the minute that they say bracelet, you're heading to the woods. We understand. Billy, you live in New York City. Man, you want to get on. I mean, do you have a car?
I don't know.
Okay, so if you want to go someplace, what do? You get on public transit?
Yeah, or I take an Uber, or somebody.
Well, hey, man.
I'll rent a car or something.
Hey, well, guess what, man? You know how much is? I mean, public transit. Let's say it costs a lot. Well, let's say from now on, it won't only cost about 20% of what it costs now for you to get on that train. Just as long as you have the train and the public transportation system in New York is switched over to this new bracelet.
Yeah.
So you have to have the bracelet in order to get on the train or the subway or the bus or in an Uber. Any of this, you need to have it, and then you'll get this big discount. Okay, on all of your transportation. Here's the bracelet, Billy. Will you wear it?
Well, they're already doing something very similar to that on 34th Street, Penn Station.
Mm-hmm.
The train when I got off, there was a whole station of doctors. I'm assuming are doctors giving out vaccines. They were giving out the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and they were like, if you take it, we'll give you this Metro card for.
Get
and
out
it's
of
good
here.
for 2 weeks, you know, and some other incentives and stuff like that. The thing is, we can refuse it all day long, right? We can refuse the bracelet. We are in a minority, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's still more people than before. It's still a minority, but it's grown. It's a bigger minority than it was initially.
Mm-hmm.
But the plan, in my opinion, is fine. They're like, okay, I mean, this is what I would do if I was the New World Order or people trying to make this happen, whomever they may be. I'd be like, oh, Brisson wants to go live out in the woods? Sure, let him. He'll be dead in about 20 to 40 years tops anyway. You know, his kids are going to want to do things and go to the clubs and be
they're living in the woods with me too, Billy.
I'm letting you know.
Listen.
Letting you know what they're thinking. I'm fully endorsing you going to the woods.
The bracelet,
Right.
the bracelet is a concept, Mr. Gates. Is it a concept that because now all of a sudden, in order to get in casinos in Las Vegas, the dude who runs, I can't think of the name of it. It's like the biggest casino ownership group. Can't think of the name of it right this moment, but he had already instituted all these testing tents and all this weird shit for people to work and for convention workers to come in. What if they all of a sudden started saying, hey, you can't come in the casino. Here's the thing: they got at the casino now. Instead of you putting a card in to gamble, remember those cards?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing away with those fucking cards, man. The cards are gone. Now, check these out. Check these new cool bracelets we got, man. Check them out. You can't use the slot machine.
Let me jump in here real quick.
Go ahead. You can't use the slot machine without a bracelet.
Before you open up, just so I can finish my point, right? Because it works with what Jimmy just said, right? So people are gonna want to go to the casino, right? They're gonna want to go see maybe not the Foo Fighters, but they want to go see Rage Against the Machine or somebody, right? Or they want to go see someone. The Foo Fighters suck. But people want to do these things, right? It's gonna become the new normal. So while Brisson and myself, and Jimmy and Mr. Gates go hang out at some compound at the woods, right? Like everybody else is gonna be living life and doing what they do with this bracelet. And I think that's what they're banking on. They're banking on time passing, new children being born into a new reality, a new normal where they don't know the difference. They don't know that a cell phone never existed. They don't know that the internet never existed. Or they don't know what life is without the internet. They don't know what life is without the cell phone. They don't know what life is without that bracelet that gets them into the casino. And they don't know what life is without that vaccine. I think that's the ultimate way to weed things out personally. Go ahead, Mr. Gates.
Listen, I'm going to be Will Smith in I Am Legend, while everybody else is gray zombies. It's clear that the unvaccinated is the new black. We're going to need to create a civil rights movement. We're going to need a Malcolm and a Martin. And the kids in the future will see tapes of us being treated like shit, regardless of race. It's just going to be people who refused to trust pharmaceutical companies. It's not even, I listen, I trust the government more than I trust Pfizer, right? Pfizer has made so many wonder drugs that stayed on the market for decades until they found out that it caused cancer or heart disease or something else, right? And how is this any different? And anybody who's gotten it, more power to you. I think you should have that right if it makes you feel safer. I don't judge you, but at the same time, don't judge us who simply, listen. I've had COVID. A lot of my friends have had COVID. We survived it. Your body is an immaculate machine that will build. This is given, that you're young enough, you don't have any pre-existing conditions, you don't have a compromised immune system. Your body will build up a police force to fight it, right? And if it shows up again, it's already equipped to fight it again. And I'm as far as Vegas, I've been here for 40 plus years. I don't go to casinos anyway, so it's all good. They can do all that.
Do you remember when they went away from just the coins dropping to those cards, though? I mean, it's like people don't realize how Vegas is a place of an epic. You can come on in here and back this thing up, definitely. Because Vegas is where they run pilot programs on a lot of this technology. So they come out of the Silicon Valley, they come over there, they go, "Hey, Mr. Vegas, look, we got this really sweet software we're running, facial recognition, We're sniffing DNA. We're actually observing temperatures at 100 feet before they get to your door. We're taking temperatures. We're knowing what's coming on, and we're just going to tell you what. We're going to let you have all this shit, and as long as you just let us get the test data, you guys can use all this. We'll come in and we'll install it for free. It's all in here now. Blah 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 blah, and that's what they do. And just
get to those cards, right? You join, sorry to break in, but I have to leave in a minute, so I make sure to get in on this because they give you these cards for each casino or chain of casinos that you go to that you use. It gives you like discounts and free food occasionally and all these other things. You put that in the machine. Well, when you do that, it identifies you, of course, as whoever you are. But it also has a lot of those machines. People don't know those slot machines and things now. They have not just a facial recognition software, but they read your eyes, your pulse rate, like when you're on the machine, all these things to see how it affects you.
If you want to eat healthy and
build it,
you've got to try.
If you want to eat healthy, go ahead.
So it's on the phone. Okay, looks like I gotta go. Sorry. I'm about to go check back in a bit.
Hey,
all right.
there's been a report.
Later, buddy.
Later, Epic.
What did Epic say? He's got to go.
He's got to go. There's a breaking news report. This is from the BBC. The HMS Queen Elizabeth had a COVID outbreak on the Navy flagship, where 100 cases happened on the aircraft carrier, but every single person who was on the vessel had at least 2 COVID shots before they, set sail. So, 100% safe and effective.
Here we go.
Right.
And the Yankees, right? That happened with the Yankees. I think I sent you guys that article. I saw it. 3 Yankee pitchers fully vaccinated, both shots, all tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
Now, you guys. Now, all right. Now, listen. Now, okay. It's 100% safe and effective. It's never caused any issues whatsoever. It's a miracle gift from God. Okay. And on top of that, all right, it stops you from getting the COVID, even though there was never any claims that it stopped COVID. The claims by the pharmaceutical companies and the Food and Drug Administration was that the vaccines, their quote-unquote efficacy was, if you caught COVID, was keeping you from having a severe case or keeping you from going into the ICU or dying. Which we know
all right, listen.
False too as well.
Listen, listen. These wristbands. Okay, the idea that we're talking about right now is already old. Okay, and it was old before we even found out about it, because in South Korea, they already had cell phones that were interacting with networks. That when you were going to a place, if you were, you were green, red, or yellow. Okay, so that same program is going to happen on everybody's phone. The wristbands don't even have to happen now, because now it's already set up with your phone. So this is all going to be tied together. It's all going to be networked with Bluetooth sniffers and, like I said, facial recognition cameras and all this. So is there a way to get it off your phone? You think what are you going to do? Can you live without phones? Let me ask you guys all this. Go around the table. You guys toss it. It's midnight.
It's like an appendage. I mean, losing your phone. I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, think about that. It's literally like, oh my God, I lost. Like, even for just a couple hours, you feel like you've literally lost an arm. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's an extension of your brain,
yes,
for sure.
It absolutely
you are a second-class citizen because you're a refusenik. Now you don't get a cell phone because you see, look at all the things you got to reject. Look, you can't listen. I can't drink the water. I can't go to the doctors. I can't eat the food. I can't get the vaccination. I can't wear the wristband. I can't. All the things I can't do paints my ass into the smallest fucking corner that exists, and that's exactly where they want you, in that small corner right there, looking over your shoulder, because you know everybody's watching you because you're in a panopticon. It's a panopticon.
Exactly. Thank you. I love the word panopticon too. It's not used enough.
Let me ask whoever knows, which religions are exempt for this?
None. There's no intellectual. There's no intellectual. There's no there's no religious, no intellectual, no. There's a few more, but yeah, there's none.
Philosophical. There's
philosophical none. Yep.
You can barely get a medical exemption. Barely.
Huh.
Yep.
So I guess conscientious objector is out of the question.
Absolutely.
No, I have friends who are doctors, Mr. Gates, and they like the documentation to get a medical exemption for the jabs. Like, they have to sign out paperwork and they have to submit it, and it's not like stereotypical. I can't take this medicine. You can go to your hospital and say, look, I can't take lisinopril because it depletes zinc and it causes me to have immune issues. You can't do that. Like, you have to, to be able to get exempt for any type of vaccine passport or get exempt for your work. They have to fill out this paperwork that has to be submitted, and then there's it's very tough because they're getting investigated for giving out vaccine exemptions to the COVID-19 vaccines by the government. Crazy.
That is very crazy. Yeah, there's something, man, that they're really, there's something in that they need every human being on the planet to take. You guys peep how the president of Haiti was assassinated, and then 2 days ago they make a big announcement: Haiti receives their first batch of vaccinations. Right? And they had such a low body count from from it. You know, it was like nobody was, hardly dying from it. So, and I guess the president was keeping the skepticism going, by not supporting it. And now they're fully vaccinated there.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
And here in New York, Cuomo did away with religious exemptions before all of this happened. There was a little measles outbreak here. I mean, and by little, I mean little. I don't remember how small it was, but it was. There were really small numbers, and immediately no more religious exemptions here in the state of New York, all before COVID. So definitely they're not trying to give people any wiggle room. They want them to take it. That's it.
I'm gonna go move to that island where the natives will kill you the minute your boat. Listen, hey man.
But guys, I gotta ask: is this the hill? I mean, like I remember like when the mask thing first dropped, right? And I remember being like, I ain't gonna die on this hill, right? Like this ain't a hill I'm gonna die on.
Gotcha.
Like this is a silly fight. Like we're gonna cop to it, kind of whatever. Like, yo, this sucks. Like we get it, right?
Check this out.
It's just like, dude, let's just avoid this, whatever. So,
check this out, man. I put this forward a bunch of times, man. I wish some natives would get a hold of what I'm saying once and for all. Native Americans own that reservation that they're on. It's like a fucking foreign country, man. If I was, hold on.
They have the.
If I was a native, John, and I lived on a reservation, you know what I'd do? I would sell you a passport into my reservation, and you could come. And now because you have that passport, guess what? You don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to have a vaccine either, because on our reservation we don't have to take that. So see, once you become a member of my nation, you can have an exemption to that. Maybe, I mean, Native Americans, what you could charge, like, I don't know, charge $2,000 a head or something. Like thereby, build back the nation. Take that money that you sell the passports on, take that fucking money and start building some shit that people can actually live in. Okay,
what I'm saying,
build hospitals.
I can actually go back to Oklahoma and take my Cherokee, claim that. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a number. I mean, I can go back.
But
just saying.
The tragedy is, you guys, about that though, is according to the media, what you can claim is true or not true about this, but it does appear to be true. The Native Americans have the highest vaccinated percentages out of the American population in the United States, because the propaganda was heavily thick with the Native. I mean, look at
they used the Native American. They used the Native American people
pushing the jab on the African American population of the United States. It's Tuskegee all over again.
Yeah, they used the Native American people just like they used the people of Africa, just like they used the people of Haiti with their test subjects.
Yes,
Listen, that isn't the point. The point is that they don't have to be like that anymore. And here's a great idea where everybody can be free, because you know what? Russell Means said we're all on the reservation. You know what I mean? The 13th Amendment didn't free the slaves. It made everybody slaves. People should realize that shit. People should realize the difference between civil rights and natural rights. There's a big difference, ladies and gentlemen. You're born free, man. Okay? Everybody's equal. Everybody's born free. Okay? It doesn't mean we all got to be the same. Everybody's equal, but not the same. We can all be different and have some good shit going on here, but what's going on here is not good, because our rights are being taken away systematically. You know it all started? You know when it all started? It all started fucking in 9/11, where people said, well, hey, man, if you ain't with us, you're against us. And we're going to come smoke your ass out of that hole. And I'll tell you what, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go there. We're going to go over there. We're going to go over there and kill them over there, so we don't have to wait until they won't come over here. And now, since we've been over there killing them for so long over there, there's a bunch of people over here that now they're sick and tired of what's been going on, and they don't like it anymore. So now that they turn the apparatus for them over there, all them dirty Muslims, now they're turning that apparatus back around on the American people, saying that if you're a white Christian gun owner, for whatever reason, you are the most dangerous thing in America today. And as a matter of fact, you are so fucking dangerous that, you know what we're going to do, everybody? Looks like Rockin' Rio's here. You know what we're going to do, everyone? Check this out. If your uncle or anybody else in your family that you got a bone to pick with, you're a social justice warrior, and you just got this conservative uncle that really pissed you off last year at Thanksgiving, guess what, man? We got a good phone number for you called 1-800 right on your uncle.
Yeah, they already have that going on.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Go ahead. I know. Go ahead. That's why I was saying it. Listen, I still haven't left because you guys have got such a hot conversation going here that I can't get away. So here you go. I'm gonna jump away. Rockin' Rio's here. Billy Ray Valentine's here. The Haterossi Mr. Gates is here. Epic Journeyman was here. He's gone. Looks like John Brisson is heading out the door.
Heading out the door.
All right, Brisson, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, you guys, I'm tossing the keys over to you. And don't forget Weaving Spiders.
Hi, John. Bye, John.
And Weaving Spiders is here, too.
I gotta go to bed, brother.
All right, we only got 50 minutes left, and when I come back, if you guys want to, I'll open up the phones and we can hear what people think about this, get some people's opinions about what they want to do or what they think is going to happen. So go ahead, you guys rip this red meat up, and I'll be back in a bit. This time I'm walking away and I'm not going to listen. This conversation is hot. It's smoking hot, man. Rockin' Rio, I'm glad you're here. So bring in the Cristal, pour everybody a drink, and let's get it on. Let's make it rumble. Here you go.
Shout out to the chat. There seems to be a roast battle going on. That's like all that's going on over there. Ace and Nani are getting it in. I have to go back through and read through that, man. Pretty healthy.
I turned it off, so I can't even see who's there. But otherwise, I would have shouted everybody out. And thank you for staying up late in the East Coast if you're around. Rockin' Rio, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Long time no speak. Say what's up to the people, man.
What's going on? Hello, everybody.
What's up, Rio?
You know, and I called you out before, Billy Ray, right? I said because you said you're gonna fall asleep on the couch. You didn't know if you were gonna make it. And I said, on your show, and I said, don't chump out on us. And guess what I went and did, man. I fell asleep in the chair sitting here. I just had to get a nap in, man. You know, way goes.
I get it, man. I went ahead and set my alarm clock because I certainly didn't want to disappoint you. I'm like, you know what, Rio's gonna get in my ass. I'm not having this shit. I'm gonna set my alarm clock and make sure I'm there. So here I am, and we're talking about this. This craziness, what's going on here, man, and ultimately, we're all going to be faced with a big decision at some point, very, very soon. You know, if a lot of people have gone ahead and you know, taken this thing, and a lot of people are, you know, resisting, but still, there's going to come a point where they want everybody to do this, right? So we're going to be faced with a decision, Rio. What are your thoughts on this overall?
Well, These guys are just going to keep pushing until somebody pushes back hard enough to stop it, and it's just going to keep rolling forward. You know, you can look at it however you want, but you know, this is I guess in a way the beginning of the end, right?
So Rio,
it's got to change one way or the other.
Rio, describe to the people and everybody on the panel. Describe in detail what happened to you when you came back from Christmas visiting your mom. When you went there thinking, you know, I better go see my mom because shit, man, I don't know this, you know. So, and you went there and you had to go through all these changes. Tell everybody what happened to you when you came back, and then also tell them what happened when you had to go to that military-like facility and get that shit jammed up your nose. And because
that was rough, man.
Tell everybody what happened, because I don't think people realize. I mean, this happened to you already. This is what they were already doing. Okay, go ahead. Just explain it, as quickly as you can, because I mean, it has all the technology that we're talking about. When these contact tracers are going to come knock on your door, it's the same thing that happened to Rio at the airport. So we already know. They know this shit works. They already have it ready. It's ready to go. John Hopkins has trained them. Among other universities, people have been trained as contact tracers. They got iPads. Rockin' Rio. Tell people what happened to you, man.
Yeah, so they have this. I flew to Texas for the holidays, and then on the way back, right, there was a thing, for the quarantine, the mandatory quarantine that we had here in New York. And since if you fly into New Jersey, it's considered a New York airport anyway when you go to Newark. So I get off the plane, right, and you're supposed to fill out the form before re-entering New York State, and I get off the plane, I go in, and I'm just about out of the airport, getting ready to call my ride, and this guy with a lanyard and an iPad just kind of standing there. He just walks up to me, just clear out of the blue, doesn't introduce himself or anything. He says, "You haven't filled out your form yet, and you need to do so before you leave the airport or you're subject to a fine." So he had already had me like facial recognition on his iPad or something, and knew that I had not submitted the New York State quarantine form or the New York State traveler form before leaving the airport. So they knew who I was before I left the airport.
Right.
And I had to go to the little kiosk and I filled out my form, and I went out, sat in the corner online on my phone and filled it all out and whatever. And then I got my ride back. And this is, so they give you this mandatory quarantine for 10 days, but they tell you, well, if you had I had to take a test in Texas before I left, 48 hours, within 48 hours before you get on the plane to come home. And the deal is supposed to be that it's a 10-day mandatory quarantine when you get back to New York, or if you had a test within 48 hours before leaving, and you had to wait 3 days after you got back, and then you could take a second test. And if the second test was negative, you could get out of quarantine early. So I figured, well, I got to go back to work. I don't need to take, another. I just took 2 weeks off, so I didn't want to take another 10 days off of work. So I the test in Texas, it was easy. They stuck a little swab in there. They swabbed my cheek. They called me about a half hour later, says, "You're all good to go." And I was not a big deal, right? It was $20 or something for the test. So I go back to, I get home and whatever, and I wait my 3 days, and, I go to sign up for my test. And in New York, on the website, it tells you, oh, you get a free test, this and that, because you're resident and blah, 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 blah. So I make this appointment. I go to take the test. And in order to get the free test, then now they don't tell you this. They tell you rapid tests are available, or, the PCR and whatever. So my appointment's at like 2:00 on Friday, and I go to get this test. So now I pull up, and they have this. It used to be a recreation area off the Parkway, and they have the whole area closed down, and there's like National Guard and military guys there, like guys that standing around with M16s, and they're like in full quarantine gear with the masks and the full face mask and the shield and stuff. And there's big signs: don't open your windows, don't do this, don't do that, follow. And there's a guy standing there with a sign, and he holds up the big sign and says, "Are you here for a COVID test?" So you nod your head yes or no or whatever, and he points you to the next guy, and then the next guy's got a sign that says, this, are you military? Are you this? Are you that? You can go left or go right, and he points you to the left line or to the right line. So you go into the line, right? And then, you go up to the next one, and they tell you there's somebody standing there with a sign that says, "Hold your form up to the window. Do not open your window." So you put your form up against your window, and they come over and they look at it, and it's like this whole like sequenced operation going on. And then you finally get into the it's like a big party, like a temporary party tent, that they have set up. And you go in, and the guy whips out this Q-tip that's like probably close to a foot long, right? And he unwraps it, and he says, "Just tip your head back," right? And I'm going, "What are you doing?" He says, I said, "Well, what is that?" He goes, "Oh, well, that's the test." I said, "Well, I thought this was going to be a quick test." He says, "Oh, no, that's only if you're a first responder or military. You don't get a quick test unless you're first responder or military. You have to take a PCR test." I was like, "Well, all right, whatever." So now they jam this thing up my nose. And let me tell you, I mean, I don't know if this is like normal for everybody, but it felt like he had Tabasco sauce on the end of that thing all the way in, man.
He was fucked for like a few days.
They held it in there for probably 30 seconds to a minute, and I actually it burned so bad that once I got out of that tent, I had to pull over because my eyes were tearing and stuff, and I couldn't see, and I felt nauseous and whatever. So I sat there for a few minutes until I stabilized. It actually put me in shock. And I was driving home, and it was just about a half an hour drive to get home from the test site, and I actually had to pull over because I was about ready to pass out, and I actually ended up talking to Jimmy on Skype while I was sitting in the parking lot.
He did.
Ready to pass out because I was so nauseous and so disoriented from this, thing being rammed up my nose and burning.
I wanted you to illustrate this for everybody on this call and everybody that's listening to the underground, to the after party, because listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you're going to have to go through if you don't get that Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay? This is what you're going to have to go through when you want to go to the airport, when you want to go visit grandma, when you want to get on the bus, when you want to get on the train, when you want to go over here, when you want to go over there, because you ain't got the bracelet. Man. Dig? Mom's Jimmy. Yep. It's into the microcosm.
All the things I'm missing, good riddles, love and kissing, are waiting at the end of my ride. Move 'em on, hit 'em up, move 'em on, hit 'em up, raw high. Ride 'em out, ride 'em in, let 'em out, turn 'em out, ride 'em in, raw
My name is Jimmy. Southmouth FM. Hey, Mr. Gates, are you prepared to be the hijacker? Because we only got a few minutes left, and we can go as long as we want to go, because you are the man with the keys to the kingdom right now. So what do you think? Because I want to open up these phones, man. I know people want to get in here and talk to all you guys. They want to talk to Billy. They want to talk to Mr. Gates. They want to talk to Rio. They want to talk to waving spiders over there. Man, there's so much going on here. What do you think, Mr. Gates? Are you going to be the hijacker? The horseman? Are you going to do it? You going to do it? What's playing next? I mean, is Mae Brussels playing next? I'm sure the listeners are going to be... There's going to be like 400 people hanging around here, man.
Yeah, I'd have to get clearance.
All right, well, tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. I'm going to play a little bit of music. Okay, I'm going to open up the phone, 626-999-4761, ladies and gentlemen, 626-999-4761. If we can't have it happen, don't you worry about a thing, because we got you covered. and I'll tell you where the after party will be at. But in the meantime, Billy Ray Valentine, Rockin' Rio, the Haterazzi, Weaving Spiders. What is your first name so I can stop saying it?
It's Dave Barsky.
Hey, Dave.
Everybody calls me Barsky.
Barsky.
Yeah.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Weaving Spiders. Barsky's here with us tonight. Maybe he'll bring some of his friends next time he stops by. And we got the crew of the decade rolling tonight. And I really want to go have that cigarette. But I'm entranced by the conversation. 626, come on, join us in this conversation. Tell us what you think, because listen, I laid out a bunch of ways that they can normalize this bracelet, man, and just say, hey, well, hey, it's the keys, like Mr. Gates, it's the keys to the kingdom, man, and he's got a direct line he's got the bat phone to the main man, and who knows, man, maybe Clyde will even call in. I know he stays up late, and him and his son are kicking it. Maybe they're listening. You guys call in, 626-999-4761, 626-999-4761. Alex, you can call in too if you want to, bro. I always say, I give you a hard time, but you are a good businessman and an entrepreneur and a great, great entertainer, man, and my hat is off to you. I mean, you used to get pissed when people would call up and say they were listening for entertainment purposes, and you'd say, well, it's not entertainment. I'm not here to entertain. They're here to kill you and your family. We got a caller.
I got
818. Who's this? Oh, hey, who's your daddy? What's happening, man?
Hey, you can't keep me out.
Oh, no way, man. No, man.
I'm in, bro.
Yeah, you're a fixture around here, brother. Let me just say. Where you at tonight? Who's your daddy? You in Texas still?
Yeah, just south of the beautiful DFW skyline. Getting
Nice.
the hell out of Babylon, thank God.
Nice. Well, hey, man, you're on the line with Billy Ray Valentine. And have you ever spoke to Billy before?
No, and it's quite an honor.
I know, because I know you're a listener.
Rio, Mr. Gates, yourself.
Well, listen.
I feel like I'm in a pool of geniuses here.
Well, here you go. Rio, I'm taking the hat back away from Billy, because he was gunning my motors, man. And Billy, dude, don't gun the motors. You never rev a race boat when it's in the red, because it'll blow. It's like the guns in Navarone. It's like Superfly TNT. As a matter of fact, why am I in the backseat picking up pieces of this brother's skull?
It's a Italian stallion. Don't make me start a Method Man over here. Guns and Navarone.
Exactly. All right.
All right.
I think Billy may have dozed off.
Did he really? I thought I heard him laugh.
Can't you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you're loud and clear, baby.
Oh, there you go. Okay, listen, Billy, this is Who's Your Daddy from the chat. And he's never had a chance. He's never had a chance to talk to you guys. So listen, Rio, you got the comms. All right, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go have a smoke. I'm telling you for the last time. And listen, we don't have that much time left. So if the party's starting to end, what time is it? 34 minutes and 5 seconds. That's all we got.
226 over here. So what? 1226 everybody off?
Yeah, 626-999-4761. Call in and talk to everybody here. It's not a chance that you get to get often to have everybody here that's here all in one place, all at one time. This is a time, if you want to join a conversation where there's some people, okay? Tonight's the night, 626-999-4761. We give a shit what you think. Give us a call, 626-999-4761. Clyde, give us a call, bro, if you're listening. Come on in.
Give us a call, bro.
Come on in, Clyde. Come on in, Clyde, man. Dude, the airports, the thing you were talking about the other night, seriously, and there was another piece to that too, because I noticed during the pandemic, what they did was they took these planes and they parked a bunch of this shit out in the desert. And ever since then, my house in Santa Cruz was on the flight path, so I'd hear planes going over my house out of San Jose Airport all the time. And ever since the pandemic happened, I don't hear those anymore. I don't see planes in the skies anymore, and I'm wondering where those planes went, and they're still out in the desert. Because I think when they do the Great Reset, part of the new thing will be they'll be building new planes with new material. The planes will be flying by themselves, just like the ones that went into the towers. And, because, they know how to do that. And there's no problem with that. They don't need pilots. See, the pilots, you see what's happening with the pilots? They're all getting sick. Clyde was right, man. Pound sign Clyde was right. Hashtag Clyde was right. You know the difference? When I was working with computers, it was called the pound sign. And so you know how funny it is, because it's like, remember the Me Too movement? It's called hashtag Me Too. Well, what if you went back in the day, it was called the pound sign, and it'd be pound Me Too. You know what I'm saying?
It has a ring to it.
It does have a ring to it. It almost sounds something like this. Like this. All right, 626-999-4761. Who's your daddy? There he is, Billy Ray Valentine. There he is, Mr. Haterossi himself, Mr. Gates. Have at it, boys. I'm out of here. I'll be back.
Who's your daddy? What's good, man? What do you want to talk about tonight? You're on the air. What's going on?
I feel obliged. Since Rio was talking about his testing, really interested in the what do they call these? The antibody tests. I know at least half of you know far more than I do. Let's discuss that if that's cool with y'all.
What do you want to talk about in particular about the antibody test?
Like availability. With is that something you go to your MD for? Do you got to go to some special government clinic? What's the skinny on it? Because I really don't know that much about it, but I am curious about it.
I wish Brisson was still on.
Right. The guy.
Yeah, that's a Brisson.
would have answered that.
That's definitely a Brisson question. Hey, who's your daddy? Save that question for John when he comes back or when he's on with Billy, because Billy's going to be opening up his own phones. But here, what I want to know.
I can tell you that here you have to pay for it yourself. Like you can go to your own doctor and request it, and they'll give you the prescription to go get the blood work, and you can pay for that yourself if you want to get it.
What do you think? Now you're driving.
Some info if you want to go for it right here.
Hang on 1 second. Let me just ask who's your daddy a question, because he's a driver. He's a truck driver. Who's your daddy? Let me ask you a question, man. So now you got your CDL, and you have an upkeep on that. You got to have certain criteria you got to meet. You got so many miles. You can only drive so many hours. This, that, and the other thing. You got to keep track of all this shit. You got all this messy paperwork all over the place. Papers are fucking flying all over the cab of the truck because you got to keep track of all this shit. Well, hey, tell you what. I'm the trucking company, and I'm telling you, I just came out with this new bracelet. All you gotta do, and look, you don't even need a key to the door to your truck. You don't need a key to your truck. You don't need shit. All you need is this bracelet, man. One bracelet, one world, 1111. Amazon One, palm print, bracelet. What would you do? Would you continue to drive, or would you say no because that's your livelihood? If they said everybody that drives a truck has to have it, because if you don't, I can't trust you delivering my groceries. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a possibility that I don't really see happening. It's a very conservative industry, as you probably guessed, as a whole. Now, ownership, the more billionaires they are, the higher up in the corporate racket you go, the bigger corporations, such as J.B. Hunt, Swift, I'm sure those billionaires are all commies. But I happen to work for a smaller fleet, and I just don't see that happening. And I would have to come in through, like, the DOT or something like that. I don't see that particular circumstance coming about simply because, well, you're going to be without a lot of truckers all of a sudden.
Did you ever see the piss test happening? No one saw any piss test happening, but all of a sudden, all it takes is for the biggest boys to adopt it, the corporate players to sit down with the people that are running shit, and they say, look, boy, we're going to eliminate all small businesses, small companies, because the only ones going to be able to survive through the shit that we're about to put them through are the corporations. Corporations are signing on. Corporations are involved with the government. It's called corporatism. That's what fascism is. That's why there's fascists on the walls up in the...
Yeah, the Mussolini model. Exactly.
Exactly.
So you mentioned that you work for a smaller, maybe more independent company than like J.B. Hunt or somebody. But what happens is those guys... they get the mandate that if you want to drive for J.B. Hunt or whatever company, as an example, Schneider, whoever, that they have to, comply with the order. So now they've got it partially in, right? And they start putting pressure on it a little bit. And then, then they start going to their retailers, to the, to the supermarkets, to Wakefern, to, Walmart, to whoever they're contracted to, and saying, hey, look, our guys have the card. So, and, if you sign up with us, you're guaranteed that your food is safe and this and that and the other thing, and they'll start putting the pressure on that way. And then they'll say, all those independent guys that don't want to get the card, you just shouldn't let them drive for you, because we've got plenty of people to pick up the slack over here. And now, they're putting pressure on you from the outside in kind of a roundabout way to get where they're going. Like it's the whole boil the frog scenario, right? They start small, they get one or two big companies to sign on, and they start putting pressure on the smaller companies. And at some point, those bigger outlets that you drive for won't hire your company again until you get the card.
Right, and then what else? What follows there is the government red tape, because then that'll then all of a sudden they're going to sign on with that, with the mandates, and they're like, well, and then whoever's going to come in and be like, then there's just going to be government red tape just to go coincide right along with that, and then there you go, and then that's a wrap. I mean, and it's just going to be just a mess all the way down.
See, they're not gonna force you to take it,
right?
But what they are gonna do is make it really miserable if you don't.
Exactly.
No more Amazon loads. No more Walmart freight. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just gonna get uglier and uglier, and it's just
luckily, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, buddy.
Luckily, I've already got my woods plan. I'm already working on buying land in the Ozarks, brother. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge.
Right.
The time has come.
No, I feel you. Definitely. It really has. The writing's definitely on the wall, and it's been on the wall for some time now. But, I mean, it's just like I was saying before, what hill are we willing to die on here? And I'm sorry, I'm not some anti-vaxxer, like whatever out here, but this is something like my heels are firmly pretty much dug in here with this one, It's too much. There's a line, and this is a line for me, personally. And I've had friends that have gotten it that I wouldn't think would that they don't trust big pharma. They're hip to a lot of they're hip to the game and what's going on. But at the same time, I think it's more of like I've certain friends that are more along the lines of like I guess they don't want to deal with the nonsense. They're just like, well, screw it, I don't really care. I just don't want to hear about it at work anymore type people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't want to deal with having to answer the question anymore. Like, did you get vaccinated? You know what I mean? Just over and over and over. That they're just like, screw it, I don't care. And I understand that line of thought.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And I mean, it's like, and I get it. I get that line of thought. That just ain't me, though. So, and that's not us, clearly. I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody here, but clearly, I mean, that's not our line of thinking here, because, I mean, it's like Jimmy G was saying, it's like it's a panopticon. It's foul, and it's from every freaking direction. It's nonstop, man. And
well, see, I think too with this whole situation, they tried to roll it out quick, and they realized that they were starting to get a lot of backlash, so they slowed it down, right? So now they were like, all right, we put the brakes on it, and let everybody out for the summer, and you can all have a good time for now. We'll lift all the mandates. We won't push this yet. But now the next step is, now we're hearing about the Delta variant and all this other stuff is, the next wave is coming, and even Bill Gates himself did a whole speech on the next wave is coming, right? Like 6 months ago.
Right.
So they're going to get us out of. They're going to let us enjoy the summer, and then, come October, November, it starts getting cold, and the season's starting to kick in again. They're going to start ramping it back up, and they're going to start, you're going to have to, the whole thing with the airplanes, you just, if you want to fly, because you're in a closed space, you got to have the card. So now you can't fly anymore unless you have the card. So you say, all right, well, screw you guys, I'm going to drive, right? Or I'll take a train or whatever. You get wherever you're going. So now, then they go, well, we might have to close down this state and that state and the other state. So now, all right, so you want to drive from, say, New York to Florida? Well, that's great. You can do that. But, if New Jersey and Delaware and Washington and West Virginia are all closed to people who don't have the card. You can't travel through our state. So now you got, instead of, hopping on 95 and taking the straight line from New York to Florida, now you got to go to Pennsylvania and out and around and, maybe around down through the edge of Kentucky or, even maybe as far out as Ohio and take 75 down to so now you've added another 6 or 8 hours to your drive, right? Because you're not allowed in the states that are in the short lane. So now they've made it a little more inconvenient, and they're just going to keep building this nonsense until it's to a point where you're going to be like, well, you know what? Screw it, man. It's just a thing.
You can't use fast track either. Fast track for you. You can't get in the fast track lane.
Yeah, no more interstates for us, right? It'll be along those lines, like, oh no, and then they'll purpose like, watch, you're gonna have to take these back roads and all this stuff, and it's gonna be lined with crime. You know what I'm saying? Just like, don't pull over here because you're gonna get shot if you.
The highway,
see that playing out.
The highwayman,
yeah, exactly.
The hijacker.
Yeah, the sand people, exactly. Yep.
It's serious, man.
Hey guys, I don't mean to interrupt.
You can't hijack.
I had something come up and I have to get off.
Do you?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, okay, yeah, man. I hope everything's okay, man. So,
yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, man.
Guys, check me out Thursdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, every Thursday night right here on Aftermath FM. Thank you so much for having me, gentlemen. Interesting talk as always.
I caught your show earlier, Mr. Gates, and it was excellent, dude.
It really is, man.
Oh yeah, the next one will be better. That was my first time using this equipment going live, so I'm figuring it out.
It sounds great, by the way, brother. Sounds really good.
I sent you that. Hey, I sent you a link to that scene from Goodfellas when they get busted for selling them cigarettes. And
right.
Here's this though. Hey man, I was gonna do this for you, so keep listening. And you can do that on your Aftermath FM. You can do that with your app. So I go up when I'm checking the perimeter. I take my iPad outside, Aftermath.fm app, and I listen in. Man, you guys are ripping it up in here. And here's your buddy, man. Check this out. Check this. Oh wait, man, here comes a call. 253's calling in. There you go. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. There he goes, Mr. Gates. Mr. Gates on his way out. Billy Ray Valentine, Mr. Gates, we had 2 things tonight. Soft as a sock or hard as a rock. And, brother, you are hard as a rock. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. And
all right, you guys have a good night.
Take care. So, Billy, are you gonna stick with us, man? You've been up. Now you're up, man.
I'll stay to 4, bro.
All right.
It's 3:40 in the morning.
All right, here you go. Here comes Will Smith, man.
Give me a soft, subtle mix. And if it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. And think of the summers of the past. Adjust the bass and let the Alpine blast. Pop in my CD and let me run around and put your car on cruise and lay back, cause this is summertime.
Two 253. You're on the phone with Billy Ray Valentine, Rockin' Rio.
Oh, hey, this is Todd.
Hey, Todd.
Really,
what's happening?
Just my go, but oh man, I didn't realize they put that swab up your nose for like 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, and it was rough too, man. It felt like it was coming out the back of my head, and they put not only did they put it in there, but it's the Q-tip itself has got some yellow thing on it, like I guess it's some kind of antiseptic or whatever, but they put it in there and then they it sounds torturous. They slowly rotate it, so that they can coat the whole swab with whatever they're trying to swab. And I'll tell you what, after that was done. For probably 2 to 3 weeks, I felt like I had a hole in my head. Like I could actually tell exactly where that Q-tip was inside my face for a while, and it didn't feel right. When you take a deep breath, you kind of felt like it had this cold spot,
Did they?
Then it was about probably 2 or 3 weeks later, you start blowing your nose, and these big chunks of
your brain,
dried out bloody goo or coming
pieces
out.
of your brain are just flying out of your skull. Hey, when you were little, did your uncle yell at you? What's the matter with you, Rio? You got a hole in your head.
Like a few months ago, I was thinking to myself, man, I bet they got the end of those swabs infused or something. So I was looking it up, and I can't think of the chemical name, but yes, it is infused with this substance. That's supposed to be some
hydrogel. Hydrogel.
It's supposed to be to sanitize it, but but the ingredient, they say, is highly toxic if you get it on your skin.
They say hasta lasagna, don't get none on you.
So I'm thinking, what is this? Is this like making your skin, your tissue raw, to be susceptible to something?
I kind of wondered that too, because I know a bunch of other people who got that style test, PCR test, and said, oh, come on, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't that bad. And then I talked to other people who got it, especially the free one, and that was kind of a scam too. The free ones that New York State was giving out, they were contracted by somebody who was like the owner of the company that was doing. It was a private company, and the owner of the company had some kind of relation to the emperor of New York, and so there was something there, but there were some people who said it was awful and went through the same thing I did, but not everybody, which kind of leads me to believe that there was some kind of experiment going on there too, that 10% of the people got this special swab, and everybody else just got the normal swab.
Well, let me say this.
Yeah, there's a backdoor design, of the of that ingredient is to like alter your tissue to make it susceptible to something else that might be infused in the swab that they're not telling you about. It's susceptible to something in the environment. And I mean,
have you ever listened to the Infinite Fringe show with Billy Ray Valentine?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, did you know you're on the air with Billy right now? He's on the East Coast and he's going to hang up. So I mean, if you wanted to say hi and ask him a question or talk to him a little bit,
hi, Billy.
Now's your chance.
Well, yeah, I know Billy's got to. You mentioned he's got to take the vaccine to go to school.
You listen to the show. What's going on? So I gotta take it to get into the school building, right? And thanks for listening, by the way. Appreciate you, man. And that's not till January. I don't have to do that till January, and I don't want to do it. And I am actively trying to find ways around it. Now, this is something that Jimmy Jean was alluding to earlier, like, or even Barsky, like what hill are you going to die on? Right? I made a decision 2 years ago to quit my corporate job in order to pursue this degree, and it was a family decision. It wasn't just my decision. I had to confer with my wife, right? And we put a lot on the line for this. I got my bachelor's degree, and I am currently in the master's program, because if I don't get a master's, I can't practice. So if I choose not to go back into the school building, I threw away 2.5 years, and now I have no income. So what do I do, right?
Yeah, I remember you talking about it, and I can see the situation you're in.
Yeah. So what do I do? I'm trying. What's up, buddy?
My position, I'm chalking up everything to HIPAA. If anybody's, asking me about anything, it's like HIPAA, it doesn't. But no, I'm not going to get tested. I don't want that swab up my nose. If I can't fly in a plane while they're doing this, fine, I'm not I'm not getting the jab. Whatever, you know. At what point, you know, they're going to be, oh, you need every couple of months, you know, we got this new one you got to take, you know, your body's just going to be swimming in this liquid, you know,
well, and you see
you know.
That was kind of my point before about the slow motion, right? Now, you said January, right? So now that's 6 months out that they're telling you ahead of time. They've already got this planned for you.
Yeah.
You know, and
I'm supposed to get it in September. Oh, I don't know if you're talking to me, but I was supposed to get it in September. But I'm not going to be around till January. I don't know if that was talking to me or in reference to somebody else. My apologies.
No, that was for you. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a system. You know, they're going to be like, oh, the Delta's coming out, the Lambda's coming out. You need a booster. You know, this month is this.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, you're getting jabbed every 3 weeks. You know, and at what point are people going to be like, oh, hey, wait a minute now?
Well, and that's the problem, though. Nobody's pushing back hard enough, fast enough now. I mean, there was some backlash, which is why they kind of slowed the program down. But there's still enough people out there who are just willing to comply, right? And, you know, it's just going to make it more and more and more difficult for everybody. So, like, you know, somebody in like Billy's position now, he's got to make this choice. And, you know, come September, October, November, whatever, if there's no other alternative, you know, it may sway his decision to take it, right? If he can maybe say, well, you know, find some place to transfer to or something, you know, there may be an out. But if there's not, then what do you do? You know, did he just toss away the last 3 years of his life because, you know, he's holding on to something that, you know, may or may not have any damage to him?
Guys, I want to drop a piece of information right now while I can and while we can still get this out. If anybody, go see a chiropractor. I'll leave it at that. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I got it.
Go see a chiropractor and take it from there. If you catch my drift, just go see a chiropractor, and you know, just go from there, and just play it cool, and just that's all I'm gonna say.
What are you alluding to, though?
I'm alluding to basically
Go see a chiropractor.
Go see a chiropractor because, I mean, they're basically, well, I don't really want to I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble or anything along those lines, but I'll just say, like, they're not in line with the establishment, so to speak, the medical establishment.
Yeah, they're into more holistic stuff, so
yes,
they're tending to avoid
there are workarounds, and I already know of some, so I'll just leave it at that. Legitimate.
Yeah, I got you.
And they're more than willing to, you know, I'm not going to speak for all chiropractors, but I'll leave it at that. Just go see a chiropractor and, you know, be open about the fact that, you know, you're not too into this whole situation that's going down and, you know, feel it out. I know they're not the cheapest, but hey, it's an option. It's a very real option. So.
All right. Well, we got about 9 minutes left before we go off the air. Aftermath FM. Mom's Jimmy. It's in the microcosm. We're here Monday through Friday, 10:30 Pacific, right after, immediately following Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero Crew. Billy Ray Valentine is here with his shows immediately preceding Clyde Lewis. So you might say Billy and I are like a really nice piece of fresh bread on either side of the meat of Clyde Lewis. Clyde was right. We love Clyde, and you know, we can go later if Rio's into it and you guys are into it. Barsky, you're welcome to hang.
Appreciate it, brother.
Do you want to be on
up early? I got to be up in literally like 3 hours, my man. But
3 hours, right on.
It's been a pleasure.
I know that pain, and that's actually why I was late, because on Thursdays I work my day job, and I usually get up at 4 a.m. or thereabouts.
Right on
you know,
target.
so by time the show is over on Thursday night, most nights I'm up 24 hours by the end of the show. So
feel you.
All right, man. Here you go, right here. Some soul perfection. 1973, man. Mom's Jimmy. It's in the microcosm. Aftermath FM. Sitting here with Billy Ray Valentine, Barsky, Rockin' Rio. Mr. Gates just left. And got a caller. Todd. Lou. Who's your daddy? Here's brother, Louie. (626) 999-4761. We got 5 minutes left. Now's the time. If you're thinking about it before, you better do it now. Do it. Be Mr. or Miss right now. 626 999-4761. Quick. We're running out of time. Remember to check out the Infinite Fringe Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights at 6 o'clock Pacific, immediately preceding Clyde Lewis with Billy Ray Valentine, the Infinite Fringe. Guests galore, and Billy Ray himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the next Art Bell. My name's Jimmy, it's in the microcosm, 626-999-4761. Here comes Brass Construction. Moving. (253)
If, I can see this, oh, hey, yeah, I see that notification states that, you don't have the latest updates on, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, tell us, you can't come in because you
don't have the updates.
You got 3 minutes, man. Update us now. 3 minutes. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Yeah, that's what I can imagine happening. It's like people trying to, because people are not keeping themselves up to date on the news or what's coming out and getting updated with the latest Michelle Pfeiffer, and coming into these medical establishments not wanting to wear a mask, and oh no, you can't come in. You don't have the Michelle Pfeiffer update 2.1. You know, you got to put your mask back on.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is too, like we're saying, what they're gonna go, they're gonna say, look, we're not telling you you have to do anything. Listen, if you don't want to, that is up to you completely. But what we're gonna require is what Rio went through, and you're gonna have to do it every time you go from here to there, to there, to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. It's, you know what? Let me just say. If you're ever in a jail situation and they move you from jail to jail to jail to jail, if they move you from 10 jails in one day, you get strip searched every time. In each jail, they make you go naked, bend up, and show your butthole. Okay, every time they move you. Okay, so what if they make it so ridiculous that you go through what Rio had to go through? Some dude cruises up to you with an iPad. He says, no, you, over here. You haven't, go down here. See the man down there in the khakis. Next to the
long swab, you know.
Right, next to the Humvee. The dude right there. Because, Donald Trump said, hey, man, don't worry about it. Logistics, man. The military. Listen, people, don't forget. Nothing that got set up during this has been taken away. I mean, they don't take shit away when they set it up. Go look. Go look at the border of California and Nevada. Go look at what they set up over there during this whole thing. They were getting ready to balkanize this country with border stations and spot checks. Why do you think they bought all those bulletproof phone booth we just went off the air on Aftermath. Why do you think they bought those bulletproof little booths, man? Because they're gonna, it's gonna be like Bush hired.
I didn't even know about those things.
Dude, Bush hired all these Stasi people, that retired Stasi people during 9/11, and they've turned our country into East Germany. Billy Ray Valentine, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
Excellent. So we got this caller calling in. Caller, did you have something you want to say to Billy? And there's Rockin' Rio. And Barsky, if you got a bone out, man, just take off. We'll get a hold of you, man.
I appreciate it.
Definitely like to have you come back, man. We appreciate you.
We
got
to get you on Weaving Spiders too, brother.
Hey, Brad, let me know. Yeah, just get a hold of me, man.
Will do.
You got my contact now on this call.
You know it.
So thanks, Barsky. Billy Ray Valentine.
Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. We appreciate you, man. Great additions to the conversation. We really appreciate it.
Later, brother.
Take care. So Billy, I know you got to cruise, and Rio, I mean, you're gonna cruise. You know what? When Billy cruises, we're all gonna cruise. I gotta go too. Let's just do it. Billy, go ahead. You got the final word, bro. And then we're gonna bone out. Let me go over to YouTube. I haven't even been over there this whole time, and they're over there. And I haven't said hello.
We'll have the Friday night after party we always do.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Tomorrow night.
Can you see the chat rooms in the YouTube and Discord?
I do. I have them both.
Before Billy leaves, Billy will leave, but then make sure that you shout everybody out, and then we'll leave. After Billy goes, shout everybody out before we go, just so everybody gets their shout-outs. So, hey, check this out. My CPU is at 33%, and I'm sending 30 frames a second. Damn. What do you think about that shit?
Spitting fire.
I know. Go ahead, Rio. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the other point to the whole situation was too is that they told me I could get out of that quarantine early had I went and got all this done, right? So I figured on day 4, I just had it done. Whatever, I'll get my results the next day. Oh no, they make you wait. They made they tell you the results are 2 to 3 days, but they made me wait 6 days to get them. So I was officially released by text message from the New York State. I was officially released about 8 hours before my 10-day quarantine actually ended. So I was released on the second half of day 9, as opposed to day 10. So I got no benefit from going through all of that with the testing and the thing up my nose and the, being inconvenient, sitting in line for an hour waiting to get the test in my car with the windows rolled up and all that. There was actually no benefit. I went back to work one day earlier than I would have if I just stayed home and not done any of it. So,
well,
there was no convenience. It was, it was still like a slap in the face in either way. Is the way I look at it.
All right.
So there was no benefit to doing it.
Billy's got the last word, man. Billy Ray Valentine, thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate you staying up late. I know it's a big hassle, and I really appreciate it. And I know the listeners appreciate it too, because people get a chance to hear you that might be night owls and shit. They don't.
Man, I appreciate you inviting me on. It's always an honor to come on here, man. I'd be on here all the time if
you were a night owl.
It wasn't 4 a.m. out here in New York.
Yeah, you didn't have to do shit. And man, if you weren't the head of the East Coast Truth Syndicate, you wouldn't have to get your sleep. You wouldn't need your rest. I mean, you gotta go out and break the legs of the New York New World Order on a daily basis, and you can't have it. You got to be up fresh with a nice glass of OJ in your hand, and you got to look out the window and just hear the sirens going by down below, and just think to yourself, man, I wish I was just on a fucking island somewhere kicking back with a boat.
One day those sirens will come for me. But until
no.
Anyway,
fuck
I
that.
want to say
Good
what's
night.
up to
Good night.
Alice Skull in the chat who hooked me up with some information. I took a picture of it. I have it saved just in case I need it. Everybody over in the Into the Microcosm chat at YouTube. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for supporting JG and Rio and Epic and what they do. So we appreciate all of you. And everybody over at Aftermath.fm, thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you too. My name is Billy Ray Valentine, man. Catch me Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and right before Clyde Lewis, we do a show there called The Infinite Fringe for 1 hour. It's pretty fun opening up before Clyde. And, this vaccine thing is a serious thing, man, right? It's a serious thing. It's what everybody's going to have to look into the mirror and make a decision. And you don't want to walk in the shoes of somebody who has a lot of freaking people dependent on them, because you may not be ready to make that decision, right? And if it's a lot easier said than done. What's up, JG?
Don't you think there's going to be a rat around every corner? Man, let me say, man, I'm going to put $100 bill in your hand, man. Tell me you ain't up in here wearing them masks. You know what I'm saying? You know what, man? It's all about the Benjamins, man. Here, I'll give you $100. You tell me who up in here that ain't had that vaccine.
Right.
Because I'll tell you what, man, I'll give you $5,000 cash. Are you the organizer? I'll tell you what, Billy, I need an organizer. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you $5,000 cash, man. Okay, I'm going to watch you go around, hand it out in your neighborhood, find out exactly who is and who isn't. I'm just saying, I'm not saying Billy Ray Valentine would do that, but I'm just saying somebody is going to come out there with a big fat stock, man, of Benjamins. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to hand them out, right? And here's the kicker. The Benjamins came in FedEx, tainted with some nasty funk.
Yeah.
Man, it just put such an image in my head.
Listen to me. Here's what I got to tell you, though. Listen, no matter what anybody says, just so you know, money in America, our money, it's made with special kind of chemicals and thread and shit that shit can't exist on it like that. But I mean, they can still
made out of money.
They can find
Good for your immune system.
Yeah, they can find cocaine like on your 20 and shit, but they can't find any kind of Wuhan shit in there. So listen, before we go, who's on the line with us? I thought I heard a woman on the line.
That's what I heard too. I didn't know if that was a drop or what.
Hey it, Clyde.
Hey, Clyde, what's happening? It's good to have you. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks.
I heard
my
you.
Head,
I heard you call.
my head's spinning like a record 'cause the beer's got it rolling around. But I want this all to stop. I'm tired of this
Me
shit
too.
show.
Me too.
And all I'm saying is, Tom, the evil, soulless Lord, has got to be wiped out from the memory and this head, so I can, as Clyde and who I am as Jeannie, can live freely.
You
God
should. You
damn
got.
it, I'm sick of it.
You're born free and you live free, and that's the way you got to be. Because you know what? Let me tell you something, man. Clyde, let me say something. Close your eyes, just for a second. I mean, you're not driving, are you?
They are close.
You're not driving.
They are close.
You're not driving, are you? If you're driving, immediately open your eyes.
Okay.
All right, now hold on a second. Now listen.
The problem
Wait. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna.
Goddamn Volkswagen, that's my brain box.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna throw you a chunk right here. This is a chunk straight from Into the Microcosm, from us to you. I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen. Close them eyes and close them for a second. Just close your eyes.
Okay.
Kick back. Just close your eyes now.
Okay.
When your eyes are closed right now,
Yes.
the space there is infinite. You cannot be held down. You cannot be boxed in. You cannot be trapped. You cannot be hurt. Nothing. It's infinite. It goes forever, no matter what. Even if you were sitting in a closet and all you could do is barely move, when you close your eyes, the world belongs to you. It's what you're creating there in that space that matters to you. That's what keeps you safe and sane, is when you go inside of yourself and you listen to yourself, because you know what you need better than anybody else does in that space.
I need my children and my lover. God damn it. And all I see is emptiness because I'm running the goddamn universe. I can make the mansions, but I don't know how to live in one.
Well, the thing is about the making of the mansions. It's like when you sit down at the banquet and there's all the food there that you could have, that you could eat, but your utensils are too big. So you can't use the utensils because they're too big. The only way that you can eat is when everybody around you at the table and you realize that you got to use the utensils to feed each other. So the thing is, man, yeah, it's an empty space, Clyde, but the thing is, that's what's so beautiful about that space, is that it's an empty space that belongs to you, and you create what you want there. You know, when I was sick and when I was going through my chemotherapy shit, you know, and I was going through that, you know, I used to have this, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I would come down into this valley that was all green. You know what I'm saying? And I'm walking down in there, and then everybody.
You do it?
Well, I'd just be walking, and then all of a sudden it'd just be this valley. I'd be coming into it, be walking, and I'd be seeing people on the side of it, you know, with a rake or whatever. Somebody's doing some. People are clipping roses and shit, you know. And everywhere I go, man, every single person would turn around and smile at me, you know, and shoot me some good energy, you know. It was like everywhere I went, there was good food. There was nobody, you know, nobody was over in the corner hoarding it all for themselves or trying to get mine, or you know, I go out of my way and smile, and then they shoot me this dirty look, or they shoot me this look that sucks my beautiful thing that I offered them into the dirt, so they can just use it later to go yell at somebody that they're mad at.
They're blood-sucking me to death.
They do. Leave them alone, man. You know what I mean? I want you to just... Did you go get that book, The Four Agreements?
I got the 4 agreements.
Did you
and
start
I
re-
read them, and I lived that way. I lived that way already.
Well, so what is it? What is it that you need the most? I mean, realistically, do you need to get a hold of your children?
Yes, I need to see physically what I know inside. I can't find it in the physical. Somehow I'm locked up in some kind of safe or down in a well called this thing.
It sounds like you're in the well of despair, and it hurts my feelings because I want you to I don't want you to be tied down by that, by something like what you're describing. So, is there anybody that you? Is there anybody that you have? Do you have anybody that's your friend that's close to you, that's close by?
My neighbors all help me, and everybody treats me like a queen, but I can't be that queen because I'm living in a fucking money pit, and I've got so much piled on top of me, and I don't have a friend to save my soul. I have no family. But yeah,
well,
I'm supposed to be some
you got friends right
goddess
here.
queen. Well, I honor all of you, all your voices.
Well, that's why we're here too. You know, that's why it's good that you call in. You know, because I wonder when I don't hear from you. You know, it's like when I open up the phones, I'm always wondering if you're gonna call in or not, because you said you were gonna go get that book, and then I didn't hear from you for a couple weeks, and so I started wondering where you're at. So you know, maybe no, you don't have to be sorry, but I'm just saying, you know, maybe what you should do is just know that we're like family around here, you know. So when the phones open up, you know, we'd like to hear from you. So make sure tomorrow night, you know. Make sure tomorrow night.
You're all my soul family, but I don't know how to save you. The only way is to save me.
Yeah, well, you can't, that's the thing is, you know, you can't save anybody else but yourself, you know, man. And the other thing, you know, here's the thing. When you're trying to save somebody, you never put your hand in and try to pull them out, because they'll pull you in with them. You throw them a ring with a rope on it. You could throw somebody a ring, okay? But you can't pull them out. It's not up to you to pull them out, because they're going to pull you in. Don't get pulled in, Clyde. Make sure you stay in touch. Listen, do you need are you like, are you feeling like hopeless? Because
yeah, I wonder if maybe I killed the body. I'd wake up in my home country with all the people that love me and that I love in a
the problem is that
world without Tom, the soulless overlord, causing it all.
Well, Tom, the soulless overlord, may be a reality, but let me just say this. Anything beyond what you see right here and feel, anything beyond that, you don't really know until the moment of truth happens for you. So the problem is like when I was sick, you know, it'd been real easy. It would have been real easy for me to die right then, because I had it all laid out. See, I could have just, you know, I didn't have to put up with any more bullshit for the rest of my life, because I could have just not fought. You know what I mean? I could have just sunk to the bottom and not fought it out. But here's the thing, man. Here's what I realized in my moment. See, in my moment of truth arrived, you know, when I had to face the abyss. You know, maybe that valley's on the other side of the abyss. You don't know. But here's what I do. Here's what I do know. All you know for real, okay, is what happens when you meet your moment of truth, and the rest of it is somebody's thought, somebody's book, somebody's fucking shit that called in on some radio show saying they went to the light or something or whatever. It doesn't matter. You never know. This may be all we get, right? So what I decided what I was going to do is I was going to try to stay alive as long as I could, because I really don't know what's going to happen. And so no matter how, and listen, no matter how shitty it gets, no matter how bad you think it is, okay, you should pray. You know what I did when shit was the worst, man? In my blackest fucking moment, all I did was thank God. All I did was say thank you over and fucking over, because of how much pain and agony I was in, and whether or not I knew if I was going to wake up in the morning. I said thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because I was grateful that it wasn't fucking any worse. So listen, you know, it may be bad.
He knew you were a real one. The real ones don't have to say they're sorry, and he knew you were one of them, and he wasn't gonna let you go. And how's your mom?
My mom's doing good. Yeah, she's doing really good, and she's super happy about the new studio over here, because when I'm not there, she gets away with doing stuff that I don't let her do, physical stuff. So it's helping her get recovering a little bit more. And she's been doing vitamins and stuff, and so she's feeling better. So listen, I want to make sure you're not feeling like you want to do anything weird or fucking, because listen, I really appreciate you calling in, and man, if nothing else, at least, hang and be with us here and give us a call, and, like I said, the lines are always open. I just don't want you to go, I don't want you going away feeling like, you're not feeling good about yourself or whatever. I want to make sure everything's okay with you.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. I'm grateful to you. You're beautiful in every way, and
I think you're beautiful too.
It kills me that you beautiful ones have to be a part of my sickness, and I got so triggered when Billy, or I don't know if it was Rockin' Real, I think it was Billy Valentine, said there comes a point when you look in the mirror and it's horrible when you have that responsibility for everyone, and you look in the mirror and you have to make a decision. I've tried to break that mirror. I've broken the mirror in a million pieces, but nothing works.
Well, the only thing, the only thing that works is having some sort of
I just can't. It gets so goddamn heavy.
It's
like
heavy, man, but the thing is,
because they say the devil's in the details, I can't hardly blow my nose without cause and effect. Everything I do, even what I choose to eat, the sun either goes dark all of a sudden. It's like every move I make, I hate being God of the universe. I never asked for it. I never signed up for it.
Well, why don't you just do this? Listen. I told my friend yesterday, and I'm not even kidding. I swear, Clyde, I swear this is true. I told a friend of mine yesterday, I said, hey, bro, you got to resign that job as general manager of the universe, okay? You're not responsible for anybody else but yourself. It's right,
Right.
And the thing is look. That doesn't mean you're selfish. That doesn't mean you don't do nice things for people. That doesn't mean any of that. That just means that the only person you're responsible for is yourself, because you are the person that you can rely on in every situation, because you are the person that knows you best. And listen, everybody's made mistakes. You know what, man? You know what I say? I say don't bother me with my past. You know, it's like this. Are you living, man, did you used to live in a house 10 years ago?
Yes.
You don't live in that house anymore, do you?
No.
Then what the fuck do you talk about the things that go on in that house for? You know what I'm saying? You don't live there anymore. You live here now. You're here now, see? You're here now. You're not there. You're not there when. You're not where you're going to be if. Okay? You're fucking here now. So be here now.
To the next.
Yeah, be here now and let's make this good. Fuck everything else. Listen, make every minute good, man. Look, when I quit drinking, you can listen. I quit drinking, man, and when I quit drinking for 25 fucking years straight. I didn't do shit. No alcohol, no drugs, no weed, no nothing.
I just wished I had that kind of.
I did it 1 minute at a time at first. Because I was an alcoholic, man. I needed to drink, okay? I needed to snort blow to keep drinking. I needed to drink to keep snorting more blow. And let me just say, man, when I quit, I said fucking 1 minute at a time. I'll drink in a minute. I'll drink in a minute. And I just kept waiting, and then I could get to that minute. I'll drink in 10 minutes, man. I'll drink in an hour. I kept giving myself permission to drink in a period of time that was manageable without thinking about the fucking rest of my life. Okay? And 1 minute at a time, then I made it to a day, and then I got 3 days, and then I started to fucking see some daylight, man, and then I made it to my first 30 days, and somebody handed me a chip, and they said, fucking congratulations, dude. And I was in a room with a bunch of other people that did the same shit that I did and the same kind of fucked up shit. And they all understood what I did and where I was coming from. So I was in a room with people that understood me, and they understood where I was coming from. They understood what I was going through because my body was craving certain shit that I used to get from the alcohol that I drank every day.
Yes.
So
I needed to sleep, though. I can't.
I'm not telling you to quit. Listen, I'm not telling you to quit or to do anything. What I am saying, though, is look, if you want to, you can, try to do it just for a bit. And, if you need to go to sleep, then, do what you need to do. But just know that, like, at some point, if you want to, they have phone number. You don't even have to get involved. Like, it's fucking anonymous, man. You don't have to tell nobody your name, but listen, the only reason I'm telling you is because there's somebody always there 24 hours a day. It's another, listen, the value of one alcoholic or one addict helping another is unparalleled. Nobody understands. Nobody can understand.
Absolutely.
Nobody can understand you like somebody who's been through what you've been through. And I'm telling you, I went to meetings. When I first started going to meetings, I used to go to like a couple meetings, 3 meetings a day. I'd go to meetings every day, and I got involved, and I hung out with other people that were doing the same thing, going through the same shit I was, or people who had gone through it, and then I could go, man, I'm feeling like and they go, well, hey, man, you quit drinking, but did you start drinking some sugar, some soda? Because you get a lot of sugar when you drink alcohol. So when you stop drinking, it, you fucking start getting headaches and all this shit. So I'm just saying, look, you can always call Alcoholics Anonymous 24 hours a day whenever you want. I mean, whenever you want. If you feel bad, you feel lonely, you feel like you want to talk to somebody at some weird time in the day or night, you just fucking want to talk to somebody, then call them. They don't fucking care.
Okay.
They will not. They don't care. They're not going to give you any problems. They just want, they want to be there for you, and that's the thing. Is by you. Here's the thing. Is what's really great about it. One of the best parts, is you will help them by them helping you, because see they're there because they have changed their lives as a result of
two-way street.
Yeah, other people help them, and how they give back to the community is that they sit down there on the phone and they just wait for somebody like you to call who wants to talk.
This is psychotherapy for all of it. For me personally too, man. I was homeless 2 years ago. Literally just now thinking about it. Homeless 2 years ago. Broke. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. It's just, it takes a bit, but like Jimmy said, 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever, however you got to go about it. It'll happen. It'll come. It'll happen.
Okay. I did call the church about a AA meeting, but I moved to a city that I'm not familiar with, and I drove all over. And
just call the number.
Find
You don't even have to take any chances of even driving around. You can just call the number.
Yeah.
You don't even have to. I'm telling you, it's right there. I mean, somebody have access on my right glasses on. Somebody look up the number for AA 24-hour number. Let's give it to.
I'll get it right now.
Let's do it for Clyde right now.
All right, Clyde. Let's see.
Stand by, Clyde. We'll just get that number for you right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For sure.
And here's the
Billy that I'm talking with that you were homeless.
It's Barsky. Barsky.
It's Barsky. So yeah, Dave Barsky. Yeah, it's tough, but I mean, things turn around quicker than you can imagine. Trust me. All right, let's get that number for you though, real quick here.
Yeah. So
it is. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. It is 1-888.
Yes.
685 5770. So 1-888 685 5770.
685-5770. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Clyde.
Thank you
You're so welcome, Clyde.
Hey, Clyde. Here's the best part too. They don't care what your name is, so you can just make up a name and just
I got all kinds of names, Dave and Bonnie and
well, there you go. You can have whatever your name
and
you want.
Clyde and
Well, because it's anonymous, so they're not going to ask.
and
They're not going to ask.
Melanie Griffith and
They're not going to ask.
Melanie Griffith and Marilyn and Kim Kardashian. It goes on and on. I got so many names that isn't funny.
Well, they're not going to ask you your any questions. So, but they're there for you, and they've been through a lot, and they're ready to talk to you, and that's what they're there for because they volunteer because they love you. They're waiting for you. They knew you were going to call, and they're sitting there right now waiting.
We love you too.
We do, and so make sure.
I love you all so much. You're like voices in the wilderness trying to save this world. There's good souls here.
Well, you're gonna make us all cry now. Come on now.
I love all of you for what you're doing and being brave enough to say what you do. I pray for you, Jimmy, and I'll pray for you, Dave. I just know that your hearts are with the real people, and it's beautiful. And
you're beautiful.
I honor you for what you're doing for God and His country. He wants it back. She wants it back.
Amen.
And you're all working to try to make that happen.
We are.
I will be grateful
All right.
for you all for eternity if I can do my part.
You can do your part. Yeah, and do me a favor, do your part, and make sure you give us a call tomorrow, and let us know, how it went, and if you give us a report. So if other people are having problems, and they're wondering about that 800 number, so so tomorrow, if you call back, give us a report and let us know how the 800 number over at Alcoholics Anonymous worked. How if they were nice, and let us know, because there may be people out in the that are listening that have drinking problems.
Yes.
They might have drinking problems and they might be scared to call. So maybe if you call, maybe you could help the show and give us and call that number, and then come back tomorrow night during the show and call in and then tell us how they did, if they made you feel all right and everything. This way, if anybody out in the audience has a problem, then they won't be afraid to call. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right, so
I would love to do that if just one soul could be saved. I don't want anyone
there you
to
go.
ever go through what I'm going through.
Perfect.
There you go.
All right, so you call that. Give her that number again. You call this. You call this number, Clyde, and let us know, and then come back tomorrow. Make sure, because I'm going to be counting on you. You're going to be almost like a guest on the show. In other words, I'm going to pencil you in on the schedule. Sometime when we open the phones, you're going to call in and give us a report about how this whole thing works, and make sure people, because it'll help somebody who's out there who's got a drinking problem.
Absolutely. And I'll give the number one more time.
Go ahead.
1-888 685 5770. Again, 1-888 685 5770.
Okay, I've got it written down
All right.
correctly. I'll call them when I say goodnight to both of you, and I'll call in tomorrow. Hopefully,
Sweet.
I will be more articulate.
No, you're fine right
able
now.
to
You're
keep my composure.
We can hear.
You got your composure.
Yeah,
You're beautiful.
We can hear you fine. So listen.
Thank you.
So listen. It's almost. So you're going to be back. You're going to be reporting for us and letting us know. So we'll be counting on you to make sure that you find out and give us a good report. Now, do you remember back in the day there was a band called the Blackbirds? You remember them?
I do somewhat, but I missed out on a lot because I listened to Christian music for about 10, 15 years and missed all the good rockers
these
from
guys are
75 to about 85.
It's still waiting for you here.
Yeah, so the Blackbirds are like a soul band, and they had this song called Rock Creek Park. And I don't know if you remember it, but it's a good one. So what we'll do is we'll play this, and then when you hear it, stick around and listen to it as long as you want, and then call that number, and then call me back tomorrow because I'm counting on you. I'm penciling you in on my schedule right now. Hold on. I'm pulling out my Sharpie right now.
He's writing it down. I'm watching him do it.
I am writing it down. So make sure. No, we're gonna open up the phones tomorrow night. I'll open them up at midnight Pacific, I think it's going to be. So make sure you get ready and you have your full charge on your battery. All right?
Okay, I will. And thank you for needing me and my input.
I do. Okay, so here, you ready for the Blackbirds? Here they come. You ready?
Yep, I'm going to listen, and then I'll say bonjour for now.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Have a beautiful rest of your evening.
Thank you.
All right, Clyde. Everybody's looking forward. The chat room is going crazy about you coming on tomorrow night and letting us know how the AA number works. So you make sure you come back. There's 30 people in here that want you coming back tomorrow night. So, all right. Here's the.
I love them all.
Everybody's counting on you.
All right. Here's the Blackbirds. Here's the Blackbirds. Okay. All right. We love you. See you tomorrow night.
Love you more, always.
Night.
hair? You can with Skechers' new
People see us everywhere. They think you really care. But myself I can't deceive. I know it's only make-believe. My one and only friend is that someday you can. My hopes, my dreams come true. My one and only you. No one will ever know how much I love you so. My only prayer will be someday you'll care for me, but it's only make believe. My hopes, my dreams come true. My life I'd give for you. My heart, a wedding ring. My all, my everything. My heart I can't control. You rule my very soul. My only prayer will be someday you'll care for me, but it's only make believe. Doodle squat, yeah. My gal is red hot. No gal ain't doodle squat. Well, she ain't got money, but man, she's really got a lot. Well, I got a gal, 6'4", sleep in the kitchen with her feet out the door. But my gal is red hot. Your gal ain't doodle squat, yeah. My gal is red hot. Your gal ain't doodle squat. Well, she ain't got money, but man, she's really got a lot. Oh, go cat.
I'm the type of guy who will never settle down. Where pretty girls are, well, you know that I'm around. I kiss them and I love them, 'cause to me they're all the same. I hug them and I squeeze them, they don't even know my name. They call me the wanderer, yeah, the wanderer. I roam around. Oh, well, there's Flo on my left arm and there's Mary on my right. And Janie is the girl, well, that I'll be with tonight. And when she asks me which one I love the best, I tear open my shirt and I show her Rosie on my chest, 'cause I'm a wanderer, yeah, a wanderer. I roam around.
Rockin' Rio. Are you still there?
I am still here.
Well, now, are you going to sleep now?
And no, I'll be up now.
That's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
I ended up. I was probably. I managed to make it to about 11, and then I crashed out.
Well,
and then
it's not a.
Here I am.
It's not a ghost town because there's still 33 chatters over in the chat. But I think it's time to get on out for me. I gotta get something to eat, man. I'm tired. Like I'll go home now.
Oh, well, the sun will be coming up here soon, and my blueberries are ripe on the bush, man. I gotta go pick some more blueberries.
You know what, man? All of a sudden, I have this craving to hear some Bon Jovi, Dead or Alive, on the way out. I'm gonna go full New Jersey.
Go full New Jersey.
Yeah. It's a New Jersey ending to a long, hard. Man, that was a Neon Knights of the Round Table to be memorialized in memorial. That was a great show, man. I was really happy and proud to be a part of it. So thank you for being here. Thanks for Rio. Thanks for you showing up when you did, because that particular experience there kind of maybe showed some people what's going to happen when you have to get tested to go everywhere.
Yeah, and it's just like you said, it's like this slow roll. They're setting you up, they're getting everybody accustomed to it.
Yeah.
Once the majority is in on the program, then they'll put the pressure on the resistors to join in, and I'm sure some of the resistors will give in eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's
right.
just.
Well, listen, we got her calling in tomorrow, and that's going to be great. I'm glad she's going to do that. So hopefully, when she hangs up, she'll call, and then she'll get that report to us tomorrow. And then,
yeah, that would be good, man.
It would. So listen, I'm going to end the stream. Everybody over there on YouTube's got to get going now. I'm tired. I got to go outside and get me some fresh air. So you guys, thanks for hanging here. You want to shout it? I got the wrong glasses on. Can you shout everybody out over there? I think Alice Skull's in there. I think Jason, Bella. Hey Bella, what's happening? Alice, and maybe Danny. Hey, what's up, Danny? There's kooks in the soup, dude. There's kooks in the soup. I repeat, kooks in the soup. But Reno, you want to shout them out real quick before we go, and we'll play some Dead or Alive and get out. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you got a couple already, and drones in there. Anna, Jason Hill, John Nelson, Robin, SF Thomas, Spike. Spike's hanging tough. Spike's always around, man. I see him in Aftermath all the time. Let's see, who else was here? Zoe was here. Kenny was here. It's evil. Scott Gentis was still there. I'm not even sure. There's got to be more people that are just listening and not chatting.
SF
As
Thomas.
I'm scrolling back looking here, but
SF Thomas is in there. Well, just hey everybody, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Come on back, and then we'll see you, Spike and Danny, everybody.
Yeah, we'll have to. Oh, tomorrow night's the Friday night reverse.
It is.
It's an awesome episode.
Who do we reverse this week?
Well, we'll figure it out. We could have took requests, but the time's up, man. I gotta go. It's the time's now. I'm drained like a motherfucker. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. See you guys.
Silverado. Sitting in a old Monte Carlo. A man whose heart is hollow. Take it easy. I'm not trying to go against you. Actually, I'm going with you. Gotta get up out of here.